Yang Sai admits to Fei Fei that has been awakened to superpowers for ages 2 plot twist. Yang Shi's power can rip abilities out of others' power cores, which is terrifyingly OP. To test it, he casually yanks Fei Fei's mental shockwave right out of her body. Seeing its loadier, Yang Shi finally gets why Fei Fei folded so badly that day. Outside the ward, Li San Yang's lawyer brings compensation papers, but Yang Shi's dad rage refuses. Yang Xi picks up the contract, stunning his parents with his cold move. He reminds his dad that Fei Fei is a vegetable now, and life support isn't free. He not only takes the money but forces the lawyer to demand Bing he apologize in person. The lawyer dodges, claiming an Arank hero can't just show up on command. Knowing it's all hush money, Yang Xi signs with a frosty, mocking smile. On the way back, the lawyer reports it's settled, cash really does fix everything. Back in the ward, Yang Xi asks Fei Fei not to blame him, this dirty step is necessary. He decides not every fake superpower deserves to be called a hero and hell fix that. To move freely, Yang Xi moves out alone and quietly preps a long game. At the new place, he meets roommates Ding Lam and Xiao Ai, whole new vibe unlocked. Scrolling Beast videos, Yang Xi sees praise covering up way too many truths. Superpower laws control power, but also hand privilege to self-proclaimed heroes. Rewatching Fei Fei's injury hurts his eyes, yet no clear flaw shows up. At midnight, he meets a drunk girl in the hallway, an unplanned variable enters. Abandoned, Yang Shi carries her back, since a drunk fake-powered user is a hazard. His power scans her and finds a super god brain she doesn't even know about. Smelling rare loot, Yang Shi borrows her power, no resources wasted. He fuses the super god brain with mental shockwave, creating a super brain for deduction. Next morning, the girl wakes, returns his shirt, and introduces herself as Lin Nai Zhu. Right then, a blonde guy appears, shoving Yang Shi into an awkward misunderstanding. Fanbang hits on Lin Nai Zhu, flexing his filming power, forcing Yang Shi to drag him away. At Lugang News, Yang Xi realizes Bing has battle video, hunting hidden oddities. Activating Superbrain, he forces himself into deduction mode, the only path forward. He spots a move repeated twice, more like charge up than battle reflex. Screams erupt, burnt beasts invade, throwing the city into emergency mode. Amid thunder, a giant one-kneed hunter-killer aberration appears, hovering and hunting humans. Ablevel disasters confirm civilians evacuate as heroes rush in. The flamboyant hero Swanla lands, declaring hell solid protect Lu Gang. The crowd pins all hope on the Brank hero, sure the beast is doomed. Reality bites the beast's defense and Millie's stats exceed specs, making it deadly. While Fanbang commentates, he realizes Yang Shi vanished, abandoning the livestream. Crank hero Yendai arrives to assist using the standard stall tactic. Commentators expose Swanla's habit of stealing kills after beasts weaken. Swanla pins the beast's head down, setting Yendai up for the finisher. Yendai releases Heavenly Butterfly kill, fire butterflies flooding down like doom. Director Kati notices the beast is way too calm, attack not over. Flames fade, revealing the beast unharmed, its fire-resistant body exposed. Swanla fumes, silently waiting for backup would wreck his status. Company pressure forbids him from losing, even at a dangerous cost. In the shadows, Yang Xi watches, waiting for the truth behind the show. He sees Swanla swallow a familiar blue pill, matching his suspicion perfectly. Yendai slips and gets grabbed by tentacles, life dangling before the internet. At the critical moment, Swanla cuts the tentacles, saving Yendai and his image. He erupts with power, piercing the beast and ending the fight to roaring cheers. Right after victory, Swanla collapses, coughing blood, the real price revealed. When the fight seems over, Yang Shi notices the one-kneed hunter is still breathing, danger isn't done yet. A weak mini-clone splits off and targets Yang Shi, sensing him as ideal mental prey. The beast rushing him makes Yang Shi secretly happy, no hunting needed for loot. He fires a mental shock at the weak point, instantly paralyzing the mini-beast. Seizing the moment, Yang Shi strips the mini-hunter's superpower clean. He gains a Brank fire-resistant body, immune to low fire and buffing physical defense hard. An invisible shell wraps him, making every attack feel trivially blockable. Yendi returns, sensing odd mental waves, forcing Yang Shi to hide. A black-cloaked, masked man steps out to face Yendi instead. Yendi realizes he's no hero, yet he killed a beast clone effortlessly. Ceding the law, Yendi demands he follow her for a legal superpower investigation. He crushes a fire butterfly one-handed, power-flexing Yendi into retreat. Yendai withdraws while the man notes the blue pill Swanla used matches Bing Hez. The mystery man is confirmed as Yang Shi, now set on digging out the truth by the roots. On the way back, Yang Sai pauses hunting and focuses on exploiting Superbrain fully. The key clue is the mysterious blue pill hero image destroyer material. Robbed on a train, Yang Shi deduces the thief can't vanish without a special ability. Activating Superbrain, he tracks the bag's scent and locks onto the target in the crowd. Visual mismatch reveals it's not invisibility, but instant shapeshifting. Yang Shi tails the thief, turning it into an accidental Catan mouse hunt. The thief hides in a public restroom. Yang Shi kicks the door in without hesitation. A purple-haired guy appears in sexy women's clothes, confirming his weird morph power. Thinking is spared, the thief celebrates too soon. Yang Shi coldly strips his ability. An errant power swaps appearances and stores space, easy loot acquired. Testing it, Yang Shi instantly transforms into a flawless CEO look. As police take the thief away, Yang Shi knows is just one speck in the misused crowd. A week later, Fanbang urgently calls, insisting this must be said face-to-face. Fanbang claims Lin Nai Shu works as a bar hostess and calls her his girlfriend. Yang Shi denies it flatly. Inside, Lin Nai Shu is caged and forced to perform, something Yang Shi can't ignore. Fanbang thinks Yang Shi is lovesick and suggests booze and girls as therapy. Next room, young master Liao Yuan fumes after losing and vents on others. Afraid of touching hero guards, Liao Yuan targets Lin Nai Shu instead. He pours alcohol over her head, treating people like toys before the crowd. Yang Xi wants to act but notes Liao Yuan's status and switches tactics. Lin Naishu is still forced to drink, guards pinning her head as she despairs. Right then, Yang Xi appears in a black cloak, kicking guards away and entering the game. He claims he's here only to discuss a deal with Liao Yuan, not cause trouble. Insulted, Liao Yuan snaps and throws a bottle, forcing guards to back off. Yang Xi calmly warns that interference will cost someone their voice. Sensing a crank fire user, Yang Xi knows his fire-resistant body hard counters it. Lai Yan unleashes a massive flame blast, forcing the bar to retreat from the heat. Yang Xi neutralizes it easily, exposing the absolute power gap. He locks Li Yan with mental attack and downs him instantly. Seeing a crank hero fall, Liao Yuan sobers up fast. Yang Xi casually confiscates the crank fire fist as lesson fees. Liao Yuan instantly turns psychophantic, offering money just to survive. Yang Xi lifts him by the neck, forcing him to face real fear. He suddenly asks if Liao Yuan wants superpowers, dangling a deadly temptation. Yang Xi throws him an address, ordering him to come alone in 7 days. Leaving the bar, Fanbang frantically calls to confirm Yang Xi's alive, clueless about what he witnessed. Yang Xi steps out for air, listening to Fanbang retell the bar chaos while he already saw the board. On the way back, Yang Xi believes Phase 1 worked once Liao Yuan bites. Colin's insides are exposed. Meanwhile, a video of Yang Xi dropping Lei Yan is secretly recorded. Gigi Zhanshang watches it and summons insiders to assess the masked threat. Checking Lei Yan's injuries, they find his superpower completely gone. Gigi Zhanshang instantly knows the company hit a problem beyond control. Malong notes only the Shrank Baidu Ren can erase others' powers. After arguing, Gigi Zhanshang seals the info as top-level classified. Next day, Liao Yuan tosses all night, haunted by Yang Xi's promise of power. He stops caring about the price, having a superpower is all that matters. At the same time, Yang Xi brings Fanbang to the Aberrant Beast Museum, scouting and testing limits. His true target is the Plasma Tyrant Corpse, and Shrank Beast that wrecked half of Lu Gang. It once slaughtered top heroes, its destruction far beyond recent disasters. As Yang Xi reaches out, guards rush in, nearly blowing his cover. After slipping surveillance, he activates his power but struggles, stripping and Shrank Beast. He succeeds at last, purple energy surging, surprising even himself. The result stuns him, only an errant plasma ability, pathetically weak. A full day looting the museum yields just low-tier junk, total disappointment. Frustrated, Yang Xi hits a key thought: if powers confuse, they can split. After countless tries, abilities shatter into dark energy, the base fuel of power. Yang Xi immediately considers using dark energy to boost existing abilities. Injecting it upgrades and Frank power instantly, hypothesis confirmed. Yang Xi realizes he doesn't need to hunt strong powers, he can forge Shrank himself. Right then, Lin Naishu's scream rings out, dragging him into personal trouble. He witnesses her parents admit scamming her for money to marry off her brother. To support them, Lin Naishu works 4 jobs daily, no rest morning or night. Her father coolly says they'll take whatever they can, then pool resources for the clan. Lin Naishu knows pooling means selling her to a stranger and chokes on rage. Crying, she asks her mother where she thinks 50,000 a week comes from. Lin Naishu bluntly says it's from escort drinking, stunning both parents. Exposed, the father flips in shame, cursing and trying to hit her. Yang Xi rushes in, blocking the blow. He can't watch a father strike his daughter. Seeing the mother still has conscience, Yang Xi uses control to force her to face reality. She slaps her husband, accusing him of heartlessness for sacrificing their daughter. She hugs Lin Naishu, apologizing and admitting she's their real child no matter what. The father finally yields, letting the son fend for himself and ending the sell-off. Next morning, Yang Xi sees Lin Naishu's parents off at the station, closing the family mess. He buys her milk tea to comfort her, hoping her brother understands the sacrifice. Lin Naishu suddenly kisses Yang Xi's cheek, thanking him for saving her twice. That night, Yang Xi sneaks into the Beast Corp Processing Center Power Treasure Central. Timing it right, he clings under a transport truck and infiltrates the restricted zone. Under the truck, he runs into a blonde, glasses-wearing girl sneaking in too. She introduces herself as Kyun Duo from the Fan High Chamber of Commerce. Yang Xi fakes the name UG. They enter the man-eating beast processing room, where Kyun Duo needs materials. While she's gone, Yang Xi swiftly strips the beast power on site. He gains a Drank Metal Morph ability, freely reshaping metal. Suddenly, alarms blare, signaling a containment breach. A panicked worker runs in screaming, only to be dragged away by something unseen. Right after, Kyun Duo is yanked off by black tentacles before Yang Xi's eyes. Activating the new power, Yang Xi forms metal blades and slices the tentacles, saving Kyun Duo. Yang Xi instantly doubts that this aberrant beast was processed already. No way it's alive again. Firelight reveals the truth: a giant skull with black tentacles, victims still wrapped around it. Under non-stop assault, Yang Xi piles metal into a dome just to stay alive. The metal dome is crushed inward fast. This defense won't last long. Cornered, Yang Xi drags oil barrels toward the beast using metal tentacles. He detonates them with fire, blasting the tentacles open a survival path. With tentacles destroyed, trapped people scramble to escape the danger zone. A final tentacle ambushes Kyun Duo, but a water blade slices it midair. An old man wielding a water saber appears, accusing them of reviving the beast. Yang Xi recognizes him as Duan Shuilu, a famous rank hero from 10 years ago. Duan Shuilu charges in, first saber form shredding massive tentacles with ease. The beast counters with multiple tentacles, proving it's not overwhelmed yet. His second form lands, each step paid with fallen tentacles. Leaping atop the beast, Duan Shuilu unleashes the decisive third form. A waterfall-like strike pierces down, beast blood spraying as its life is cut off. Beast slain, Duan Shuilu turns his blade on Yangshi, unconvinced of innocence. Qiandudu tosses Yangshi a beast armor set and bolts, betting his life holds. The armor blocks Duan Shuilia's strike, saving Yangshi by a hair. Dodging hard, Yangshi activates Super Brain to match a rank attack tempo. With no retreat left, he uses mental control to break Duan Shuilia's rhythm. Duan Shuilu is shocked when his movements freeze for a split second. Yangshi fuses Metal Morph, switching to active blocking instead of pure defense. Blade Clash shockwaves erupt. Yangshi has touched Arank territory. Hearing the title Shenqiang, Duan Shuilu starts doubting Yangshi's identity. He orders everyone out, claiming center authority and wanting a private talk. Alone, the old man probes Yangshi's strong yes but here for no simple reason. Dropping pretenses, he asks if Yangshi risked his life to chase the world's truth. Though unsure, Yangshi nods, playing along to dig up deadly intel. Laughing, the old man reveals the secret corpse center's open paths to the White Rift. 15 years ago, Dongcheng opened a White Rift. Disaster beyond return began. All QPS heroes died holding the line, only him and 2 others returned alive. He points at the incinerator. Every center sits on weak space nodes. Burning beast corpses stimulates these nodes, forcibly reopening the White Rift. He coldly concludes humans on Yilan Star livestock survive by being stronger. Before leaving, he reminds Yangshi, choose any side, but remember you're human. Elsewhere, 2 observers grumble that Duan Shuilu went too far, spilling secrets. And Shrank Video Council begins, over 25 voters entering a dangerous choice. Tension fills the room should the White Rift truth be shared with Arank groups. At the hospital, Yangshi sits by Komodo's Fei, confessing last night's cruel truth. He recalls walking out alone under scrutiny, with Duan Shuilu still inside. Seeing Qianduodu appear, Yangshi goes on guard. His real powers must stay hidden. He chats casually, then suddenly hypnotizes her into a blank state. Seizing the chance, he edits her memory, erasing fire and metal powers, leaving only armor buying. Hypnosis lifted, Qianduodu panics and flees, secret temporarily secured. Watching Fei, Yangshi vows to wake her before revenge is done. That night, he uses Metal Morph to forge materials, prepping disguise for a new identity. He takes out power drugs, planning to use them with gear to fool Li Yuan if needed. Donning a new mask, armor systems activate. He names the suit Bai Shi. He plans a secret group, Panju, to judge fallen heroes and fund itself. Next morning, Yangshi stomps on the sleeping Lu Yuan, dragging him straight into the plan. Yangshi coldly confirms Lu Wen came as scheduled, lured by the promise of superpowers straight into a trap. Lu Yuan kneels and begs, offering money, women, and power just to gain an ability. To Yangshi, all that is trash. He rejects it and kicks Lu Yuan away to teach him his place. No more games. Yangshi orders eye contact and instantly casts hypnosis. The hypnosis fails, revealing Lu Yuan already has a higher ability resistant to normal control. Yangshi switches to heavy mental assault, smashing Lu Yuan's consciousness and knocking him out. While he's down, Yangshi strips his power and finds an Arank fake ability, Rebirth, triggering only after death. Though extremely dangerous, Yangshi absorbs it. This is a card that can flip the table. In return, he implants an Arank werewolf bloodline to keep Lu Yuan controllable. Awakened, Lu Yuan remembers nothing and still thinks he's about to receive a dream ability. Yangshi uses a spirit siphon ring as bait, spinning a tale of stealing ability cores from fakes. He adds that abilities can be refined into drugs usable by ordinary people. Forcing a choice, Yangshi makes Lu Yuan drink the drug, using his body as the test bed. Cornered, Lu Yuan gulps it down, stepping onto a one-way road. His body mutates violently, red eyes, beastly howls, bloodline power erupting. Lu Yuan fully turns wolf, racked by pain as foreign power tears him apart inside. Yangshi calmly asks how transformation feels, like this was all expected. He stabs Lu Yuan's pride. Your rank is nothing compared to your brother's Arank. As Lu Yuan collapses, Yangshi tosses hope back, join the organization for stronger drugs. Feigning generosity, he grants an Arank drug, moving Lu Yuan to tears. Yangshi formally introduces the organization Panju, where power is earned by merit. He claims to be one of 12 Zodiac managers, taking the codename Rooster for mystery. As Lu Yuan burns to prove himself, Yangshi immediately assigns the first mission. Using his colonel status, Lu Yuan must investigate the blue pill in Lugang. Yangshi sternly warns him not to touch the drug. Heroes already harmed civilians with it. He promises drug rewards on success, making Lu Yuan accept eagerly. Before leaving, Yangshi drops a final bomb. The drug lasts only 1 week. Walking the street, Yangshi notices a strange sign, sensing trouble ahead. It's a missing person noticed by Qianduoduo, hunting a platinum-masked man under his fake name. Shocked, Yangshi spits coffee on the wall, nearly starting a fight with the cafe owner. Right after, he spots Qianduoduo acting strangely like she's being tailed. In an alley, Qianduoduo is blocked by a group but boldly asks their purpose. They reveal their aim, hand over the demon sword Muramasa and Shrank beast weapon. Eavesdropping, Yangshi is shaken by how dangerous the item in her hands is. Losing patience, a black-haired woman orders the attack, pushing things into lethal combat. The group unleashes inherited techniques, swarming Qianduoduo in coordinated strikes. Yangshi realizes they're all crank or higher inheritance users, no small fry. Qianduoduo isn't phased, drawing her weapon to counter, proving she's no pushover. One strike sends the entire group flying, her overwhelming strength flashing out. Seizing the edge, Qianduoduo flees, declaring stolen loot is never returned. The black-haired woman flips the table, activating the Arank Snow Maiden ability. Seeing things spiral, Yangshi quickly transforms into his Duji persona to intervene. Snow Maiden fires an icy killing move, a freezing gale aimed at Qianduo's life. Seeing her in danger, Yangshi charges out without hesitation, officially joining the fight. The clash draws a crowd and reporters, risking full public exposure. Snow Maiden closes in, coldly demanding the item, victory seemingly assured. She freezes Duo's legs, turning threats into real torture. Despite the pain, Duo resists, declaring she won it fair and won't give it up. She suddenly throws the blade to Yang Shi, forcing him to face the enemy head-on. Surrounded, Yang Shi feels his mental power draining as a strange strength auto-activates. A ninja is cleaved midair, dying so fast his allies panic. This is way out of control. Yang Shi swings the old blade, purple saber light exploding across the snowy sky, stunning everyone. Lin Nai instantly sees the truth. The broken blade is the legendary demon sword Muramasa. System feedback: Yang Shi comprehends Crank Saber Art Sun Moon triple slash from Muramasa. The price is brutal. Muramasa drains his mental power dry, his body on the brink. Yang Shi admits today is a bad day, even considering triggering rebirth. Right then, blue light erupts, ice and snow shatter. Someone forcibly interferes. Duo and Lin Nai panic, recognizing the arrivals: the wandering swordsman and Malong. Malong appears, coldly warning the rioters for trespassing Zone 1 of Lu Gang. Lin Nai tries to negotiate a handover and retreat, but Malong flatly cuts off all exits. Malong assigns target. Swordsman holds Lin Nai, while he tests Yang Shi himself. One straight punch sends Yang Shi flying, utterly outmatched by rank power. Malong scoffs, treating Yang Shi as beneath notice. Cornered, Lin Nai unleashes an allowed ice ultimate, attacking everyone in desperation. The wandering swordsman draws and slices once. Blue arc instantly halts the ice kill. Realizing Lin Nai escaped via a clone, everyone is stunned by the slip. In the shadows, Yang Shi sees Muramasa drained his combat power dry. At death's door, he gambles, tries splitting and shrank beast weapons ability. System response: Muramasa disintegrates, releasing massive dark energy. Facing Malong, Yang Shi must upgrade an ability to decide life or death. Metal Morph Frank leaps to rank. Metal control power erupts. He senses all city metal, from cars to planes, within his grasp. Clenching his fist under the rooster mask, Yang Shi knows he now belongs here. Without turning, he commands metal to block ice and counterattack instantly. A colossal metal shuriken grinds everything down. Yang Shi's return announced. Lin Nai stares in despair at Yang Shi's burst, losing far faster than imagined. The shuriken morphs into bindings, locking Lin Nai as Yang Shi calmly takes control. Yang Shi yanks out the dark energy gem, forcibly seizing Lin Nai's rank Snow Maiden. Realizing it's a Shikigami summon type, he appraises and mocks it without care. He lays Lin Nai unconscious, casually declaring Snow Maiden handled. Turning to Malong and the swordsman, he taunts one first, or both together. Three rank heroes facing off ignites the media. The whole city watches. Malong refuses a gank for hero honor, letting the swordsman go first. The swordsman steps up, declaring if Yang Shi beats him, Malong will enter. They clash head-on, abilities colliding, tension stretched to snapping point. Yang Shi suddenly binds the weapon with force-turned shackles, shocking the swordsman. He quickly notes the blade is beast material, not normal metal, hard to control. With Malong watching, pressure mounts. Yang Shi must upgrade again to break the deadlock. Two gems fuse. Rank puppet control officially activates. Yang Shi vows not to abuse it, but will use it to end this. Invisible mental waves flow from his lenses, silently invading the swordsman's mind. An illusion of the dead elder sister appears, striking the deepest weakness. The swordsman breaks free. Too late, weapon shatters, admitting Yang Shi has dual abilities. Unable to strike his sister's image, he collapses to his knees in defeat. Crowd and media erupt in Erank, falling like this is unreal. Malong steps forward, officially taking over the fight against Yang Shi. Retreating, the swordsman warns Malong never look Yang Shi in the eyes. Malong emerges in black armor, orange eyes blazing, pressure crushing the field. He declares this battle worthwhile, ready to go all out with Yang Shi. Yang Shi smiles back, calmly accepting no step back before the strongest hero. Malong sets a bet win and he learns the ring's secret. Yang Shi agrees, already expecting every gaze. No hesitation, Malong bursts forward, savage momentum dragging Yang Shi into close combat. Yang Shi quickly sees Malong as even faster than the wandering swordsman. Pressure spikes. Malong chains attacks from all angles, forcing Yang Shi into non-stop dodging to survive. A heavy blow sends Yang Shi flying, dust exploding as the tide tilts hard to Malong. Through pain, Yang Shi analyzes speed, firepower, defense all exceed standard or rank. Refusing to be crushed, Yang Shi risks puppet illusion, striking Malong's mind directly. An illusion of Lu Yun begging appears, hitting a fatal emotional weak point and making Malong howl. Rage shatters the illusion. Malong triggers a second transformation, charging like a monster. Commentators panic. Malong transforming twice means the fight is officially off the rails. Malong turns into a giant drill and dives from the sky, daring any metal defense to stop him. Yang Shi rockets upward to evade, forcing the fight into deadly aerial combat. He lashes metal cables around Malong, trying to lock him down in a split-second window. Malong sneers and mentions black flame, signaling a coming annihilation. Purple-black fire erupts, burning the bindings. Crowds expect the metal to melt instantly. But the fire can't break free. Malong panics, realizing something is very wrong. Yang Shi quietly goes all out, cars and objects around them lifting into the air. Seeing a massive boulder hovering, Malong realizes Yang Shi is a top-tier metal controller. At Yang Shi's command, the boulder slams straight down, an unavoidable finisher. A cataclysmic impact shakes the ground, dust blanketing the scene as everyone holds breath. Chaos erupts. Spectators assume Malong must be dead after that hit. An rank mechanical war hero intervenes, blasting the rock apart mid-crisis. Inside, the wandering swordsman still stands. Malong lies unconscious but alive. The swordsman admits he survived only by hiding behind a carbon wall. Total defeat. The mechanical war hero calmly replies, alive is enough, closing the shocking battle. Afterward, Yang Shi quietly returns to the inn, carrying medicine to treat his wounds. Sitting on the sofa applying ointment, he grits his teeth, cursing Ma Long's heavy hand. Once the pain fades, he refocuses Snow Maiden and Ma Long were just accidents. His true target remains the ability drug, with 2 key leads to handle next. One is Bing Chuan tied to Lu Yuan, the other is Swanla's upcoming fan meeting. Staring at the vial, Yang Xi knows the road ahead is lethal, others must not be dragged in. Right then, Lin Naishu appears behind him, startling him badly. To avoid suspicion, Yang Xi abruptly announces his moving out to cut ties. The room freezes. Lin Naishu stares in disbelief and asks again. Yang Xi claims it's inconvenient to live together and cites a promotion and raise his cover. Lin Naishu retreats silently. Xiao A reluctantly accepts without probing. Yang Xi suggests a farewell meal, guilt obvious as he looks at Lin Naishu. Xiao A snaps, calling him heartless for not cherishing Lin Naishu. Alone, Yang Xi admits his feelings but refuses to drag her into danger. He gathers courage and knocks on Lin Naishu's door, facing buried emotions. They argue. Lin Naishu cries and questions him while Yang Xi fumbles explanations. She asks in pain whether he despises her background and past. Yang Shi tries to soothe and keep friendship, only hurting her more. After the struggle, Lin Naishu confesses she doesn't want to lose him and asks to be his girlfriend. Seeing her resolve, Yang Shi finally nods, accepting the relationship. Cut to Liu Yuan grudgingly finishing the mission by treating Bing Chuan to excess. When Bing Chuan passes out, Liu Yuan secretly searches his belongings for clues. He finds a strange glowing box, instinct screaming it's not ordinary. Opening it, the shell cracks to reveal familiar blue. Liu Yuan recognizes the ability drug. Suddenly, a noise sounds behind him. His exposure is seconds away. Hearing a noise, Shang Yuan spins around, calms himself, then suspects Li Sangyang's strength has gone beyond normal. Greed and FOMO win, so he secretly steals a pill, hides it fast, and pretends nothing happened. The door slams open. Li Sangyang, drenched in sweat, glares so hard that Liao Yuan staggers back under violent pressure. Seeing the girl sprawled out, Liao Yuan sweats and asks if she's dead. Murder charges mean no way out. Li Sangyang coolly confirms the death, his icy calm proving has done this before. Liao Yuan hurriedly dumps responsibility on the company and urges Li Sangyang to leave to save his own skin. Once he's gone, Liao Yuan collapses in relief, knowing one slip meant instant death. In the parking garage, Li Sangyang rages and smashes the pill box, clearly losing control from the drug. He realizes the pills made his strength skyrocket uncontrollably, rage popping veins everywhere. Noticing a pill missing, he briefly suspects something, but anger kills deeper thought. He shrugs it off, comforting himself that the deal's soon one missing pill isn't worth turning back. Elsewhere, Yang Xi discusses moving out with Fan Bang, a choice that leaves his friend baffled. Yang Xi insists living with all girls is way too distracting, so moving is mandatory for peace of mind. At the luxury apartment, Fan Bang is stunned by the rent, and Yang Xi lies about a filial adopted son. That night alone, Yang Xi tests the Snow Maiden ability again, knowing he hasn't fully mined it since Mo Long. After summoning, he freezes in shock. The Snow Maiden turns out to be a loli, totally unexpected. Cold spreads and freezes the windows, leaving Yang Xi shivering and realizing this power is deadlier than thought. Sunu reassures him it's natural cold, which doesn't help his frozen room at all. Forced to self-rescue, Yang Xi uses blazing flame fist to make fire and fight the lethal chill. Sunu loves the warmth and snuggles the flames, letting Yang Xi realize the cold is an uncontrollable passive effect. With no options left, he blankets up and hugs both to sleep, telling himself it's a on-a-time emergency. Next morning at a signing event, fans of Xuan Le Fen Charon flood in, turning chaos to max. Xuan Le Fen Charon makes a flashy entrance, shouting safety slogans and hyping the crowd sky high. Knockdown, Yang Xi is unexpectedly scooped onto the stage by the hero, landing a golden chance. In a polite handshake, Yang Xi secretly releases power, kicking off a dangerous clash. Smiling like a fan, Yang Xi plants his ability during the handshake to track the target. After the event, Xuan Le Fen Charon leaves exhausted, his disgust for the hero role obvious. In the car, he tells his assistant to keep his daughter's birthday free, showing money pressure won't let him fall. Alone, he wrestles with debt, craving big money yet fearing a relapse into gambling. Yang Xi suddenly appears behind him, bluntly stabbing at his miserable life. Realizing this is the man who soloed Mo Long, the hero panics, knowing he can't win. Yang Xi plays nice and chats, forcing cooperation as the only survival option. Without allowing resistance, Yang Xi activates puppet control and drags him into the mental world. In the pitch-black mindscape, Yang Xi realizes this is where Xuan Le Fen Charon's true memories are stored. A memory surfaces, a mysterious man offers green pills, promising power boosts and debt payoff. In exchange, the hero must sell out hero intel, betraying others due to financial despair. He leaks private hero scandals, showing the green pills are bought with others' dignity. Yang Xi finds it wasn't a one-off, but a long-term, tightly controlled chain deal. Another memory shows him selling info on Yi Ji, accidentally revealing Anch ability potential. Paid with a whole bag of green pills, has officially bound to the underworld faction. Exiting the memories, Yang Xi concludes the green pills are tools to control heroes via human weakness. He suspects a far bigger conspiracy, with many heroes already manipulated in the shadows. Xuan Le Fen Charon wakes in panic, but Yang Xi is already gone without a trace. Elsewhere, Liao Yuan brags to his adoptive father about 3 green-purple pills stolen from Li Sandyang. Yang Xi recognizes the pills as matching the green drug from the memories, confirming one source. Hearing about lethal side effects, Yang Xi points out that fame and profit make heroes pay any price. Liao Yuan preaches lofty hero ideals, prompting Yang Xi to test and expose his not a vide. Yang Shi rewards him with a low-tier ability pill, probing loyalty while controlling power growth. He secretly keeps the ability bead, confirming the drug is only drank usable, but not instantly fatal. To trigger power, Yang Shi coldly punches Liao Yuan, forcing growth through pure pain. In the dead of night, screams erupt as Liao Yuan is beaten by Yang Shi until his ability activates through pain. After forced torment, Liao Yuan's ability clearly levels up, leaving him scared yet thrilled by the power surge. Yang Shi orders Liao Yuan to keep tracking the green pills, warning that users often lose emotional control. He bluntly says fallen heroes are just raw materials, their abilities farm to feed a hidden system. Though unhappy at only reaching crank, Liao Yuan obeys, knowing there's no way back. Time passes as Yang Shi flies over the night sea, preparing to train Zhu Nu in open terrain. With no interruptions, he deems the area perfect to test Zhu Nu's true limits. Yang Shi summons Zhu Nu, officially starting real combat training. He orders Zhu Nu to attack at full power, forcing her to face her combat instincts. Mid-training, a spatial rift opens, signaling sudden aberrant beast invasion. The training toad aberrant beast appears, the system tagging it as humanoid and strength-focused. Before relief hits, a second drank wave-stepping long-mane horse bursts out, blowing past expectations. Both beasts attack Zhu Nu together, stunning her with real lethal danger. Zhu Nu is knocked flying, and Yang Shi instantly charges in furious to save her. In a burst, Zhu Nu shifts into an adult combat form, her aura completely overwhelming. She confirms this is her true battle form, proving her ability is far from simple. Zhu Nu unleashes violent ice blast, crushing the beasts into total suppression. The training toad shatters the ice to counterattack, showing insane toughness. Following Yang Shi's command, Zhu Nu uses ice control to block the beast's escape. The aberrant beast is pinned to the ground, opening a safe kill window. Yang Shi absorbs it, the system judging the forced power boost as over-limit but short-lived. After the fight, Yang Shi realizes the second beast has vanished without a trace. Zhu Nu senses the target heading toward the city, instantly raising widespread danger. During pursuit, Zhu Nu suddenly loses control as another personality seizes her body. The new persona calls herself Ling Ai, making Yang Shi realize Zhu Nu hides deeper danger. Yang Shi confirms Xiao Shi remembers nothing during the burst, suspecting split personalities. Comparing states, he concludes combat form and normal form are two personas with no shared memory. He helplessly notes the scary common point both personas crave, getting close to his body. Sleepy Xiao Shi withdraws, and Yang Shi sends her back to rest, shelving the inner risk for now. Looking cityward, Yang Shi judges the remaining beast has entered residential zones, tension skyrockets. On another shore, a redayed white quillin runs across the sea, heralding disaster. Liao Yuan shouts warnings to a barbecue group, but they laugh it off, denying aberrant beasts exist. When they turn back, the quillin charges ashore, late fear exploding into chaos. Despite swearing off meddling, Liao Yuan rushes in to save people when disaster hits. At sea, he hauls a girl up, forcing her to cling to driftwood to survive. A chubby friend is grabbed by the quillin and dragged under, tragedy unfolding live. A piercing scream cuts off into silence as a life is swallowed in seconds. Liao Yuan reaches Lulu, prioritizing getting her ashore despite her pleas to save the dead. With the beast possibly returning, Liao Yuan chooses survival before heroics. Carrying her while fleeing, he realizes the weight is not just physical but moral. A news helicopter arrives, turning disaster into live-breaking coverage. Reporters describe the scene like entertainment, turning survival into spectacle. Liao Yuan's identity is exposed, smeared as a rich kid posing instead of a rescuer. Mo Long and the sword guest watch the livestream, horrified as Liao Yuan is hunted by a beast. On screen, Liao Yuan runs while carrying someone, nothing like the coward they imagined. Mo Long roars in rage, unable to grasp why his brother chose saving others over escape. On the beach, Liao Yuan refuses to abandon anyone, forcing himself to face the beast head-on. At the life-or-death moment, Liao Yuan transforms into a wolf, exposing his ability to the world. He lands and protects the survivors, marking a point of no return. Elsewhere, Mo Long realizes his brother has stepped onto the front line, and his hero fate begins to shift. Saved alive, Lulu blushes at Liao Yuan like he's a real hero, boosting his ego even more. Drunk on admiration, Liao Yuan turns back to challenge the aberrant beast, determined to prove his no-runner. From a mountain peak, Yang Shi, who already saved people, calmly watches, deciding his adopted son must break limits alone. Removing his mask, Yang Shi quietly preps spells, observing and waiting to step in at the key moment. Timing the counter perfectly, Liao Yuan grabs Long Ma's leg, proving his reflexes and grit have leveled up. He spins and hurls the beast away, dominating head-on combat for the first time. Amid battle, Liao Yuan realizes he's beaten his fear and no longer waits to be saved. High on adrenaline, he shouts his dream to surpass his brother and father and become an Shrank hero. Yang Shi watches with approval, knowing this chess piece pick was right. On the shore, Lulu recounts how Fatty died saving her, the tragedy stunning the group. She believes Liao Yuan's promise to save Fatty, unknowingly placing hope on someone not yet strong enough. At the lapse, Liao Yuan is trapped by a water vortex. His new power still lacks mastery. Long Ma lands a fatal counter, goring through Liao Yuan's back as the tide turns instantly. Has blasted onto the beach with a huge explosion, severe injuries freezing the audience. Watching the livestream, Mo Long bolts to save his brother, composure shattered. In extreme pain, Liao Yuan still forces himself up, his will refusing to break. Long Ma's eyes glow as it charges again, aiming to finish him before all witnesses. With no retreat left, Liao Yuan spreads his arms to meet it, gambling his life. In despair, he calls for Yang Shi's survival instinct pushed to the brink. Yang Shi appears midair, the scene erupting as the mysterious hero returns. Seeing Liao Yuan in the vortex, Yangshi calmly treats him as bait for the Green Pill organization. He acts openly, silently challenging the power behind the green pills to respond. A metallic strike drops and pierces Long Ma, the vortex collapsing instantly. Yangshi catches Liao Yuan mid-fall, fully controlling the situation before national cameras. After stealing Long Ma's ability, Yangshi mocks the low-tier power, calling this just an opening move. Seeing Liao Yuan and Fatty bandaged in time, everyone exhales, at least both escape death. Liao Yuan wakes groaning in pain as Lulu hugs him, treating him as her life-saving hero. Under curious stares, Liao Yuan loudly denies useless rumors, declaring he'll be a righteous hero. Watching Yangshi depart, Liao Yuan vows gratefully to repay his adoptive father for saving him. The Monster Resolution Bureau arrives, invoking ability law to escort Liao Yuan to the Hero Association. At the standoff, Mo Long's voice cuts in, declaring the company will take over, no one touches his brother. Mo Long appears in the sky, his rank hero status shocking the crowd. Half scolding, half worried, Mo Long tells Liao Yuan to stop risking his life, despite seeing insane recovery. Watching his brother, Mo Long starts doubting why Liao Yuan suddenly shows unheard of talent. Next morning, Yangshi relaxes at home, towel-drying his hair while pondering his ability path. Reviewing his elemental set, Yangshi considers fusing them all to forge beyond standard power. He notes the lack of a healing ability, likely crucial to patch current weaknesses. With no other leads, Yangshi decides to sneak into Xuan Le Fen Charon's consciousness for intel. He instantly activates puppet control, beginning remote spirit possession. Through Xuan Le Fen Charon's eyes, Yangshi confirms the possession is fully successful. He quickly checks the ability bead remains in the host body, not dragged with the spirit. Xuan Le Fen Charon discovers a blue-haired thug coursing a female intern via company rules. The scumbag shows his true colors, using power and rank status to trade her future for her body. Hearing healing ability, Yangshi perks up. This is exactly what is hunting. The blue-haired thug is suddenly kicked flying as Xuan Le Fen Charon steps in to stop things. Standing guard Xuan Le Fen Charon declares himself justice incarnate and openly confronts him. He questions the thug's morals, forcing him to face his own rot. Xuan Le Fen Charon's warning wakes the girl, making her realize the price of shortcut power. Protected, she insists Xuan Le Fen Charon is a good man, enraging the blue-haired thug. Humiliated, the thug charges to attack, kicking off an unavoidable clash. Xuan Le Fen Charon swallows the orange transformation pill in front of his foe, boldly raising the fight to the next tier. Freshly transformed, he throws a gut punch that sends the blue-haired thug flying before he can react. The thug escapes and mocks the 15-minute limit, planning to stall until the hero weakens. From afar, Yangshi analyzes the core issue. The time limit comes from mental strength controlling the ability. With fine mental control, Yangshi secretly optimizes attack rhythm to extend transformation time. Xuan Le Fen Charon activates a radar-like position sensor, locking onto the hiding target. Dragged out of hiding, the blue-haired thug panics, realizing this exceeds any rank hero logic. Seeing the disadvantage, he begs for mercy and offers benefits from the Shenlong company. Xuan Le Fen Charon coldly rejects him, knowing letting him go would only breed future trouble. In terror, the blue-haired thug kneels and begs, exposing his pathetic true nature. Yangshi devises a discreet punishment, scare the trash straight and cut off revenge paths. With humiliating evidence secured, Xuan Le Fen Charon is confident the thug won't dare reoffend. Mission complete, Yangshi voluntarily cuts control and withdraws his spirit body. The hero wakes up dazed, remembering nothing, left only with baffling consequences. At the Lugang Hero Association, top brass secretly convene to discuss a major plan. The chairman stresses this quarter's plan is critical, demanding full cooperation. Each faction must dispatch rank heroes to control aberrant beast battlefields under the banner of humanity. In truth, rumors of new ability-grade items are the real bait tempting heroes. Back home, Yangshi studies his clone, facing his own copy for the first time. He begins redistributing abilities, ready to sacrifice some elements to push his core power to a rank. Yangshi activates the Brank ability Shadow Stealth, creating a combackable clone. He assigns the clone its own personality and mask, forging a cold-blooded covered operative. Yangshi gives the clone its first task: hunt the ability of the Saint Disciple leader. A plane lands in Shajo City, signaling a new front officially opening. Yangshi drags his suitcase out, feeling Shaja's heat and prepping for the next chess move. Upon entering Zone 2, Yangshi is blocked by a taxi, instantly sensing trouble. In the car, Yangshi gets a message from Lu Yuan confirming Saint Disciple files were sent to his father. The driver steers on purpose, bragging Shajo is a gambling paradise, probing Yangshi as easy prey. Not stopping there, he flashes sexy photos offering underground services, revealing total chaos here. At the hotel, the driver demands 5 times the meter price, clearly scamming the newcomer. He pulls a gun, forcing Yangshi to choose between a few hundred lamyuan or his life. Yangshi responds without hesitation, using puppet control to turn the robber into a docile tool. Inside the hotel, Yangshi calmly checks in while the driver follows like an empty shell carrying luggage. In the elevator, Yangshi orders the puppet to behave in Zone 1, asserting predator status. Target locked, a fake ability Saint Disciple masked man hiding in room 441, floor 37. Yangshi disguises an infiltrate. Like a shadow, Yangshi slips through the door gap, entering before danger is sensed. When 2 girls spot black tentacles behind the masked man, their scream seals the trap. Yangshi directly controls the tentacles, cutting off every escape route. The girls are strangled unconscious, severing the fear source powering the masked man. Despite losing advantage, the masked man roars arrogantly, believing fear absorption can still flip the fight. He charges punching, hitting only after images, realizing Yang Shi's shadow power is unrateable. Yang Shi blocks the exit, controlling the entire space and turning the room into a one-sided battlefield. Dodging, the masked man threatens with Saint Disciple authority, hoping pressure will scare Yang Shi off. His punch passes through Yang Shi's head, exposing a fake shadow body and triggering total panic. The head morphs into pincers, locking his arm, instantly turning him into prey. Facing death, he sobs and threatens with sacrifices, only exposing deeper fear. Yang Shi places a hand on his head as golden light erupts, coldly activating ability separation. The fear mask ability is stripped, revealing it's only strong by feeding on others' fear. Powerless, the man collapses crying while Yang Shi calmly decides to trace the mastermind behind him. In his memories, Yang Shi sees the moment the Saint Disciple saved him and bound his loyalty, exposing the power chain behind the scenes. In the memory, the masked brawler kneels and swears absolute loyalty to Guangming Jisi, sealing his bound fate. The scene shifts to him standing blankly at a bedroom door, the moment Yang Shi takes full control. Back in the present, Yang Shi pilots the puppet body to the harbor, where the final Saint Disciple clue surfaces. Spotting the red container matching the memory, Yang Shi is sure this is the transport chain's key node. A memory flashes of the brawler smugly requesting orders to handle the sealing sword, showing Saint Disciple arrogance. Shenhai Junhun doubts his strength, hinting the target is an rank hero not to be underestimated. Guangming Jisi orders the rank hero captured alive, exposing cruelty and twisted intent. Shenhai Junhun assigns the brawler to inspect the red container from Zone 1, accidentally guiding Yang Shi. The warning about cargo loss makes Yang Shi realize this shipment isn't just items. The memory ends as Yang Shi stands before the red container, suspecting something far more heinous inside. He uses Earth Phase to break the lock, deciding to expose Saint Disciple's secret himself. Inside is a staircase downward, proving the container is just camouflage for an underground base. The blood-stinking air confirms to Yang Shi this place trades in human lives. A guard respectfully greets Lord Mask, letting Yang Shi infiltrate deeper with ease. Hearing the term little demons, Yang Shi goes on high alert, guessing the cargo's true nature. In the holding area, children's screams echo, confirming minors are imprisoned here. Yang Shi realizes in fury that Saint Disciple treats children as merchandise. Seeing victims only 15 or 16, his anger spikes to the limit. The thought they must pay crystallizes as Yang Shi decides to purge, not just investigate. A deranged guard beats prisoners brutally, exposing daily cruelty in this prison. Yang Shi steps in, pretending to inspect the goods to seize initiative. The truth spills out: the guard plans to assault the boy's sister, killing Yang Shi's patience. He orders the boy released, claiming the goods still of value, saving lives while keeping cover. Yang Shi drops the act, declaring hell fulfill the wish of killing evil. The killing blow falls as Yang Shi coldly explains they and the child are both from Zone 1. Tanglang Shuangren realizes Yang Shi's identity just before decapitation, subordinates frozen in shock. Yang Shi unleashes black tentacles, announcing a total purge of the base without mercy. The blonde guard is bound instantly, realizing escape is impossible. Another flees in panic but is hunted down, blood flooding the bunker as it turns into hell. The system confirms ability plunder complete, proving Yang Shi grows stronger with every kill. In the bound boy's eyes, the masked brawler raising 3 ability orbs looks like a descending god. Ye Fan asks his identity. Yang Shi replies simply that Hez the rescuer, withholding the truth. Yang Shi frees Ye Fan and tells him to wait while he finishes the rest outside. Ye Fan hugs his badly injured sister and sobs, fueling Yang Shi's rage even more. Distant pursuit sounds signal Saint Disciple reinforcements arriving. Yang Shi meets them head-on, tentacles slaughtering wildly as enemies fall screaming. Amid corpses, Yang Shi clenches his fist, resolved to eradicate Saint Disciple, fully hardening. 2 villain heroes appear, a sound controller and a spear wielder, joining forces to kill him. The music hero attacks with sonic waves to the brain, making children scream in agony. Yang Shi pretends to be suppressed to protect the children, waiting to counterkill. The sound controller boasts no one can resist him, carelessly exposing a flaw. His attack passes through Yang Shi's shadow body, shocking him into realizing the trap. Yang Shi counters instantly from behind, knocking the music hero out in a blink. The spear wielder hurls a flaming weapon through Yang Shi's chest, believing him finished. Despite a pierced heart, Yang Shi lands a lethal punch, pushing the foe into despair. Facing interrogation, Yang Shi roars his sole reason: innocent children and so-called justice. The spear wielder mocks him, revealing Shenhai Junhun is on the way. This is Yang Shi's death sentence. Yang Shi's wounds rapidly close, proving he's not something killable by normal means. The cage is open as Yang Shi organizes the children's orderly escape, giving them a first chance at life. Ye Fan begs to become strong like him, and Yang Shi offers one condition: absolute loyalty. Yang Shi grants Ye Fan the insect ability, forcing him to rely on it to survive the brutal world. Ye Fan carries his sister away as Yang Shi watches silently, knowing the boy's fate has just changed. Once the children are safe, Yang Shi turns back to the corpses, ready to walk his cold-blooded path. He plunders abilities from the dead, condensing all that power into pills in his hand. Sensing a rare chance, Yang Shi decides to push Shadow Stealth to a rank for bigger battles ahead. A rank Shadow Stealth evolves, letting clones fight independently and swap positions. Instantly, survivability skyrockets. Stepping outside, Yang Shi gets a knife to the neck as someone mistakes him for a child trafficker. The kids immediately vouch for Yang Shi as their savior, forcing the female hero to lower her weapon. He recognizes her as Branch, the Sealing Sword, a Brank hero from the association. Sudden chaos, giant thorny vines erupt, dragging the children skyward, turning rescue into a death trap. Yang Xi calms Yifan, promising to save everyone despite the enemy's prepared formation. The Saint Disciple fully reveals itself, a massive flower behind them imprisoning Guangming Jizi. Guangming Jizi orders a counterattack, activating demonic revival to buff all Saint Disciple elites. Bloodthirsty Rose instantly recovers all abilities, flaunting overwhelming power. Guangming Jizi threatens Branch to drop her sword and surrender, declaring traitors die on the spot. Branch stalls for time, warning Hero Association reinforcements are coming, forcing Saint Disciple to rush. 3 Saint Disciple pillars attack together, aiming to wipe out foes before encirclement. Branch erupts at full power, the sealing sword blazing red as true Aang strength awakens. Even Yang Sai is stunned, realizing Branch is far stronger than expected. Branch closes in on Shenhai Junhun, unleashing a decisive seal meant to kill him. Bloodthirsty Rose cruelly uses children as shields, preventing Branch from striking freely. A misjudged slash injures a child, instantly shattering Branch's focus. Rose laughs madly, declaring hostage is the ultimate hero weakness. As Branch falters, Shenhai Junhun silently appears behind her. His blade rises and falls. Branch has no time to react, death a heartbeat away. At that instant, Yang Shi appears to block the strike, breaking the fatal blow. The brawler's mask shatters on the ground, fully exposing Yang Shi. Yang Shi calmly mocks the enemy, showing the attack barely scratched him. He counters instantly, a dagger piercing Shenhai Junhun's throat, forcing him to taste death. As Branch moves to finish it, Yang Shi stops her, sensing a greater danger incoming. Guangming Jizi casts healing at once, restoring Shenhai Junhun's lethal wound in seconds. Shenhai Junhun laughs arrogantly, convinced the priest makes them immortal. Yang Shi quickly deduces the priest's buff temporarily boosts enemy abilities to a rank. Branch panics, sensing the Earth Archmage charging up once complete, hell surpass Aang. To avoid wide area attacks harming children, Yang Shi must plan every step with extreme care. He asks Branch to hold off the other two, while he handles the Archmage's doomsday spell. After brief hesitation, Branch chooses to trust Yang Shi and charges in. Branch detonates her seal, slamming straight into Shenhai Junhun and driving him back. Bloodthirsty Rose releases her lust ability, turning the battlefield into a lethal mind trap. She smugly reveals her power to stimulate desire, aiming to make Branch lose control mid-fight. Branch counters with mental sealing, erecting pillars of light and escaping the influence. She vanishes in a flash, leaving both enemies completely stunned. Branch cleaves Bloodthirsty Rose in half, proving her new power born from desperation. Elsewhere, the Earth Archmage summons a colossal monster. The final annihilation begins. Bound children scream in terror as the situation turns critical. Yang Shi appears again, standing before Branch to face the monster head-on. He fires lightning straight into the monster's mouth, detonating it from within. The blast is shielded by the priest, barely saving the Earth Archmage but wrecking the base. Yang Xi supports Branch out of the smoke, forcing Guangming Jizi and his forces to retreat. Watching the enemies flee, Yang Shi coldly concludes they've only bought themselves a few more minutes of life. Yang Shi stands over Shenhai Junhun's corpse and coldly declares the man's ability now belongs to him. He successfully plunders the Nether Sea Wraith ability, gaining deadly water control and water clones. He then absorbs Bloodthirsty Rose's power, acquiring the torturous Blood Rose ability. After breaking down multiple abilities, Yang Xi fuses them into a new Auric skill, Super Brain, boosting all senses. As Yang Sai finishes absorbing, Branch also wakes amid the ruined battlefield. Faced with Branch's rapid-fire questions, Yang Shi only reveals the organization name Arbiter and the title Yi Shi. Branch panics when she notices the children are gone, fearing another tragedy. The children run back safely, confirming Yang Shi's shadows freed them from the thorn vines. They describe how he formed a circular shadow barrier to shield everyone from the massive blast. Branch is stunned, realizing the mysterious man calculated everything from start to finish. Hero Association helicopters land, sealing off the harbor and taking control. A rookie female reporter appears on livestream, kicking off a report that shocks the public. She introduces herself as Lin Nai Shu and starts interviewing Branch on the spot. Branch publicly exposes Saint Disciple's child trafficking, igniting public outrage. She stresses the mission would failed without a mysterious supporter behind the scenes. Branch admits that person's strength far exceeded hers, even breaking Auric ability buffs. She describes a man in a snake mask, calling himself Yi Shi of Arbiter. Branch reveals Guangming Jizi escaped, while the mysterious man chased another direction. In a parking lot, Jizi and the Earth Archmage whisper plans to deal with Yang Xi. The two plan to retreat and hide, unaware Yang Shai is watching from right behind. Hearing everything, Yang Xi coldly decides this place will be their grave. Just as He's about to strike, his phone suddenly rings, shattering the killing rhythm. The sound makes Jizi spin around and shout, tension snapping tight. Behind the mask, Yang Xi sweats, cursing the caller's terrible timing. The ringtone keeps blaring, letting Jizi and the old man track Yang Shi's position. Seeing the caller named Xiao Shu, Yang Shi freezes. Why now of all times? The system alters his body, perfectly disguising him as an ordinary passerby. He calmly answers the phone and chats, forcing them to think he's harmless. After scrutiny, Jizi tentatively labels him a normal man, though staying wary. On the call, Xiao Shu cheerfully says she's in Shajo, sending chills down Yang Shi's spine. She boasts about becoming a Hero Association reporter and plans to interview Yi Shi. Realizing his identity is about to blow, Yang Shi decides to end everything fast. He smoothly hangs up with an excuse and speeds away from suspicion. Too late, Jizi realizes the trick and screams that Yang Shi was right in front of them. Yang Sai erupts forward, officially igniting the final showdown. Jizi releases hordes of earth elementals in a mad assault, aiming to overwhelm by numbers. The old man boasts each creature rivals a pseudo-rank, leaving no breathing room. Yangtze vanishes instantly and counterkills from behind, energy severing through the enemy. He coldly reveals himself as a rare dual ability user, plunging Jizi into despair. Knowing he can't win, Jizi begs for mercy, offering everything for survival. Yangtze remains unmoved, energy tightening around both enemies' throats. Driven to the edge, Jizi swallows a forbidden pill, erupting with golden light. He draws the judge's spear wreathed in gold aura, unveiling his hidden trump card. Terror-level power forms spinning light rings that lock down the entire battlefield. Even dodging, Yangtze's thigh is sliced, knowing one mistake means dismemberment. Watching blood drip, Yangtze identifies it as a high-speed tracking light ability. He grits his teeth and leaps up, choosing a head-and-speed contest. Superbrain activates, his senses explode as the world slows to a crawl. While Jizi still grins smugly, darkness silently closes in, signaling the counter-kill. Yangtze shifts to high ground for vision, needing to finish the target fast before reinforcements arrive. Random light fire forces T4 to raise a shield, but that slow reflex opens a lethal gap. Guangmingji's smile dies when he realizes the board flipped way too fast. Body-piercing hits rain down, and cornered, he eats full damage as blood paints the field. In despair, T4 still tries healing, refusing to lose even with his body in pieces. Yang Yi coldly stops him, since more healing would just mean dying again pointless. The system reveals an rank light ability, proving the enemy is legit but manageable. A green energy seed triggers regeneration, because Yang Yi won't risk a last-second wipeout. Cheating death by a hair, he mocks the foe one beat slower and the price changes. Yang Yi steals the earth ability, eager to reshape terrain and future tactics. Hero Association helicopters enter, signaling cleanup phase incoming. He withdraws and leaves the scene, since no flexing is needed after total erasure. Corpses and wreckage everywhere testify to how brutal the fight was. Guangmingji's identity is exposed, shocking the crowd given his long crime list. Dazed Lin Naishu is given water, as the mental shock breaks her limits. Yang Yi appears to reassure her, having secretly followed once she stepped into danger. She blushes with self-blame. He comforts her gently, a rare calm after the bloodshed. Asked to interview victims, she pushes fear aside to do her duty. Lin Naishu rushes into rescue work since every second decides the kid's fate. She softly calms a child, turning tragedy into hope like a true reporter. Yang Yi eyes the light seed, vowing to speed up someone important still awaits saving. He prepares a new mysterious persona, as the game levels up and needs pressure. Next morning at the hospital, emergency crowds show the ripple damage of the Shizhou disaster. Facing a despairing Yefan, Yang Yi intervenes, sensing the girl isn't truly dead. Holy light revival succeeds. The sister wakes, calling her brother, sealing hope over tragedy. Yang Yi heals Yefan and urges him to leave fast, since the quick revival must stay hidden. He gives money and sets a condition: apply to the Yanjing Hero system for a legit path. Worried about strength, Yang Yi hands over a training ability orb to clear entry thresholds. Yefan accepts with resolve, while Yang Yi warns against contact to avoid exposure. Leaving the ward, Yang Yi slips back into his normal role, hiding moves in the shadows. Lin Naishu questions him for disappearing all day, forcing a lie about babysitting. Hearing the kids are safe, he relaxes. Some fallout has been fixed at least. Learning the orphans are taken in by an institute, Yang Yi calls it the best ending for now. Lin Naishu suddenly kisses him, gifting a rare private moment after nonstop tension. She leaves for a meeting, promising to meet again, leaving Yang Yi sweetly flustered. Night falls over Shizhou as planes take off, quietly opening a new chapter. In the ward, Yang Yi stands before the comatose Fei Fai, pressure heavier than any fight. He prays the Holy Light works, his biggest remaining hope. Holy Light fails, sending Yang Yi into panic as his trusted power can't save her. Strange blue light leaks from Fei Fei's forehead, draining her mental force. Yang Yi concludes the light core isn't enough. Delay means Fei Fei never wakes. He recalls the blue drug dealer, realizing he must face that person to save her. 3 abilities are taken out to upgrade, as he must boost power before the clash. Disguise and clone abilities level up, prepping identities and infiltration tactics. Metal control breaks into Shrank, turning silver and granting massive area dominance. Holding Shrank power, Yang Yi eagerly awaits meeting the hooded man. Space A opens and a mysterious man steps out, marking the official start of danger. Yang Yi trades intel using a puppet identity, actively steering the deal. He drops news of a third party and the Holy Disciples purge to test reactions. Yang Yi denies the common dual ability theory, hinting at deeper secrets behind the group. Yang Yi produces the green ability drug, probing the hooded man's response. He claims the drug grants abilities and even boosts existing ones, making the other side waver. To prove it, Yang Yi drinks the drug himself, gambling danger to seize initiative. Flames burst in his hand, forcing the mysterious man to admit the ability drug is real. He cites past deals with Ruji, masking the true source of his knowledge. The mysterious man pays with 15 green drugs, unknowingly raising the risk level. Yang Yi bluntly asks about the blue glow inside the body, having sensed real danger. The other dismisses it as a side effect, which only sharpens Yang Yi's suspicion. After he leaves, Yang Yi suspects the green drug hides a scheme to devour mental force. He tosses the drugs to Bu Chuakai, urging him to quit the danger for his daughter's sake. The daughter appears and breaks the moment, pulling her father back to normal life. Bu Chuakai panics over lost deal memories, revealing the drug also affects memory. The father and daughter leave to celebrate a birthday, leaving Yang Yi with unresolved worries. Liao Yuan uncovers the Bai Shuangdian planet Lugang, stumbling into something huge. He gets excited seeing Merit ahead, unaware what is being dragged into. Yang Yi posts a missing person notice, actually sending a coded contact signal. The strange notice baffles others, but it's enough for Yang Yi. An errant mutant beast alert sounds, forcing the whole city into emergency mode. Yang Yi realizes the danger zone is near Xiaoshu, panic igniting instantly. The call cuts off amid destruction, plunging Yang Yi into fear. Ignoring all Lunan, Yang Yi charges out. He can't stay still now. He changes appearance, vowing not to lose Xiaoshu again. Yang Yi faces the Arank soul-devouring beast. The life-or-death fight begins. The hooded man slips away through a space rift, leaving questions unanswered. Only Yang Yi remains on the rooftop, foreshadowing an incoming storm. Chut Fei Hun roars and charges, its maniating instinct making it a lethal Arank threat. Yang Yi rapidly assesses the field. Arank needs 3 strong squads, and he has none. The beast locks on to prey and smashes Yendi, plunging the battlefield into chaos. King Lan scolds Yandai for recklessness since a crank hero only raises casualties here. Cries for help echo from a shattered building, civilians already trapped in disaster. Lin Naishu hangs on to save a falling friend, knowing letting go means death. Falling rubble smashes her hand, shattering her final support. Both girls plunge freely, the accident pushing chaos beyond control. Yendi saves Yuan Yuan in time, but can only grab one amid the turmoil. Lin Naishu keeps falling with no one to catch her, her limp body terrifying all. On live broadcast, a black shadow flashes by and takes her, leaving endless questions. The beast attacks a news helicopter, forcing Qinglan to block midair. Yang Yi arrives in time, catching Lin Naishu safely from certain death. Seeing her unconscious, he blames himself for being late despite risking everything. Yang Yi heals her wounds, refusing to let her suffer more pain. Lin Naishu wakes in confusion, unable to believe she survived the fall. Yang Yi hides his identity, knowing revelation now only brings danger. Aboard the flying craft, he creates a clone, preparing to intervene differently. The third member of Kaiju is born, Mao Tu, focused on healing and rescue. Mao Tu is ordered to save the wounded, cutting casualties before the main clash. Yang Yi turns back toward Chut Fei Hun, but a new presence suddenly appears. Bali Quanji lands on the rooftop, overwhelming aura flipping the battlefield. Broadcasts explode as viewers realize the legendary Arank hero is back. Facing the beast, she calmly taunts it, treating the enemy like a punching bag. Sonic attacks detonate, obliterating the building behind and opening true Arank combat. Commentators gasp in awe as Bali Quanji chooses a head-and-clash classic reckless style. Chufei Hun snarls viciously, glowing eyes provoking non-stop and tightening the battlefield tension. Bali Quanji erupts in rage, throwing a thunderous punch that blasts the beast away, asserting absolute power. Reeling from pain, the monster retreats to defend, fear showing for the first time before a human. Brigade a second to breathe, she charges like a cyclone, crushing it with pure speed and strength. She grabs the beast's tail and slams it down, turning its huge body into a brutal toy. The sheer destruction stuns Qinglan, who realizes this woman is as dangerous as the beast itself. Elsewhere, Mao Tu spots a civilian about to be crushed by rubble, life and death in a blink. Without hesitation, Mao Tu dives in to save them, placing civilian lives above all else. She leaves coldly after stating Kaiju, giving no chance for thanks or questions. Mao Tu finds Yandai and Xiaoshu's teammates badly injured, forcing her to stop. She heals immediately since Mao Tu's priority is lowering casualties, not showing off. Her powerful healing shocks everyone, but Mao Tu only urges them to retreat fast. A bizarre war stuns heroes, signaling Chu Fei Hun entering an even deadlier state. Ruji panics as he realizes the beast is devouring the souls of the dead, pushing things out of control. Chu Fei Hun's body regenerates and mutates, power surging to crush everything nearby. The beast advances with heavy steps, each one shaking the ground with pressure. Bali Quanji orders Qinglan to withdraw, sensing the monster is about to fully explode. Without waiting, she pours everything into a decisive punch, smoke blanketing the battlefield. Before she can breathe, a sneak attack hits from behind, blood spraying as the tide turns. The follow-up slam sends her crashing to the ground, body severely damaged. Nearly exhausted, Bali Quanji forces herself up. If she falls, everyone dies. Qinglan stubbornly stays to fight, declaring hero duty forbids retreat. The beast attacks again. Bali Quanji shields Qinglan, ready to gamble her life once more. A radiant white staff appears in her hand, revealing a final killing move about to drop. At the critical moment, Big Shot Ruji arrives with Mao Tu, as overwhelming force is needed to finish it. Streams explode when viewers see a super rank ability appear, victory hopes soaring. Ruji strikes first, unleashing a storm of sharp weapons to lock the beast down instantly. The beast arrogantly meets the attack, but that reaction drops it into a distance control trap. Bali Quanji sees the key, its self-regeneration must be broken to kill it. Ruji raises 2 fingers to activate a technique, blasting the beast straight into the air. With distance stretched, the beast loses footing, opening total suppression. Its limbs are pierced through, howling helplessly as it hangs like a living target. Ruji orders Mao Tu to seal its mouth, since one call means regeneration resumes. Mata's ice spreads, freezing the beast and directly slowing and sealing movement. Green energy surges again, signaling the beast is about to break free and heal. Bali Quanji warns of danger. 1 beat late and the tide flips. Ruji coldly blocks it, declaring the beast will absorb no more energy. He activates a metal storm, deciding to end the battle immediately. The beast is crushed inside the storm, leaving only weak cries before total suppression. Ruji seizes the soul-devouring ability, gaining recovery power based on mental force. He confirms Soul Devour as a mutated healing skill, unlike the Light Heart. Bali Quanji feels crushing pressure, confirming Ruji as a true Shrank powerhouse. Mao Tu suddenly throws healing at both heroes, preventing them from fighting while injured. Their wounds rapidly recover, leaving Bao Li Quanji visibly shocked. Mao Tu briefly reports Kaiju, offering no explanation despite the shockwaves. Streams crown Kaiju as the biggest contributor in saving Lu Gang, fame exploding instantly. Ruji gets word from his adopted son, sensing a new intelligence threat about to open. The clone dissolves back into the main body, merged memories perfecting Ruji's layout. Liu Yuan shows up flirting obnoxiously, giving Ruji a headache over his unruly adopted son. Yuji notices Liao Yuan is being tailed unknowingly, too drunk on intel and power to notice. Liao Yuan excitedly brings fresh intel, and Yuji instantly guesses his touch big trouble again. News about the Bai Shuang Dian plan stirs both men, since it promises power beyond one's tier. Yuji rewards Liao Yuan with an ability drug, treating loyalty like a paid subscription. Liao Yuan drinks it without hesitation, ambition steamrolling all caution. The drug hits instantly. Liao Yuan mutates, power surging and hype maxing out. Yuji plants an shrank goal in his head, skillfully feeding that growing ambition. Liao Yuan's real father suddenly appears, fury exploding when his son calls someone else dad. He vents rage over sold family intel, igniting a fierce father-son clash. Yuji steps in calmly, claiming Liao Yuan only wants an ability to protect himself. The father questions ability granting power, revealing his own resolve starting to wobble. Yuji reveals Liao Yuan already has an Ankh rebirth ability, just sealed away. Hearing he can hold multiple abilities, Liao Yuan beams as ambition levels up again. Yuji warns of the price of Ankh power while still baiting both father and son. He produces a green pill as bait, steering talk toward the drug's true origin. Yuji admits his probing the organization behind the drugs and needs the Liao family deeper in. Liao Yuan accuses Bing Chuanyangji of using fake drugs to harm people, making doubts crystal clear. Yuji locks the target. He wants the father to help investigate the drug syndicate. He offers entry into the Baigo plan in exchange for dual ability Ankh drugs. The father finally agrees to cooperate, deciding to deal with Bing Chuanyangji. Yuji leaves satisfied, a brand new alliance officially formed. Scene shifts to the hospital. Xiao Shu wakes up and unexpectedly meets Yang Yi. Yang Yi anxiously confirms she's safe, genuine concern leaking out. Hearing Xiao Shu lost her home, Yang Yi blurts an invite to move in with him. Xiao Shu gushes about how big shot Yuji saved her, leaving Yang Yi laughing in pain. Overwhelmed and unrecognized, Yang Yi impulsively scoops her up right in the hospital. Right after that bold move, he drops her into white snow, shocking and hurting Xiao Shu badly. Xiao Shu scrambles up awkwardly, flushed eyes locking with Yang Yi as tension spikes. Her soft call hits him hard. Yang Yi steps forward, but Xiao Shu panics and dodges, freezing him mid-move. Yang Yi suppresses desire, just holding her to sleep and promising to move. Xiao Shu smiles outside, fumes inside. Next morning on the plane, Yang Yi works while on the phone, still fixing clumsy kitchen chaos at home. Despite the nagging, Yang Yi spoils her with a card, granting full shopping authority. The call ends on a sweet surprise promise, making Yang Yi grin foolishly mid-cabin. Once cruising, Yang Yi's gaze tightens as he spots a familiar face across the aisle. He recognizes Tian Duodu on the same flight, guessing his current identity is still safe. Tian Duodu grows irritated at being stared at, soaring the cabin mood. Triggered by Yang Yi's accidental glance, Tian Duodu misreads it and snaps at him. The mood flips instantly when a gun is drawn at a stewardess. Yang Yi knows it's a hijack. Terrorists seize the cabin, passengers plunging into absolute panic under armed threat. Judging weapons and aura, Yang Yi realizes they're all Brank ability users, no small fry. Unable to expose himself, Yang Yi raises his hands, quietly hunting for a turnaround. The leader rolls out the plan, ordering the plane toward a preset target. He declares they'll crash into a Shoujo skyscraper, dragging Zone 2 down with them. Among the hijackers, two masked figures show unusual unease, hinting deeper twists. A white-scarfed uncle jokes calmly about death, leaving Yang Yi tense and speechless. From dialogue clues, Tian Duodu deduces the hijackers are from Zone 35, old enemies of Zone 2. When questioned, Tian Duodu softens her tone and apologizes smoothly to calm the bald leader. The bald hijacker roughly grabs Tian Duodu to toss her out, forcing Yang Yi to act. Just before Yang Yi moves, the hijacker is knocked out by a sudden heavy punch. Two Ankh heroes reveal themselves, flipping the situation into cabin-wide hope. The hijackers rush in but are crushed as a red-clad blur tears through insane speed, throwing them instantly on defense. Yang Yi spots the jacket as an insanely strong soul relic, meaning its owner is no small-time hero. The last two hijackers suddenly buff up via flesh bullet ability, and Yang Yi knows things just went south. Power erupts and the plane violently explodes, shoving everything beyond control. The aircraft spins wildly midair as passengers cling to seats, death ticking closer by the second. Shang Yu orders masks on and asks how to save the plane, but flight abilities can only save a few. Brutal reality hits when his coat can't carry all the normal passengers. Yang Yi watches the chaos helplessly, realizing tragedy is guaranteed without another plan. Amid the mess, the white scarf uncle calms Duodu back to her seat, a small act that steadies her. Duodu comforts a terrified little girl, choosing others over fighting for her own survival. The red-clad youth suddenly gets an idea and confidently drags Shang Yu outside to act. Inside, Yang Yi gambles on creating an image clone despite weakness, betting his life to save everyone. The system activates image clone, and Yang Yi officially enters a death game. Under the new plan, Shang Yu uses creation ability to slow the falling plane. Solidified mist forms a giant buffer, dragging the plane down gently and stalling disaster. As Shang Yu exhausts himself, the red-clad man reveals killing intent, betrayal dripping from every word. He sneak attacks from behind, crippling Shang Yu out of jealousy over stolen fame. He coldly declares Shang Yu will die a hero, while he takes all the glory. Yang Yi rushes in to heal, refusing to let Shang Yu die to such filthy schemes. Knowing the wounds are fatal, Shang Yu mentions his son and simple dreams, choking Yang Yi silent. The traitor returns to the cabin pretending to save people, passengers believing he has their last hope. He only takes a few girls and leaves, abandoning most passengers to despair. Yang Yi seizes Shang Yu's Arank ability, swearing vengeance and responsibility for all lives. He flies before the plane's nose, using metal control to force it to halt midair. The plane lands safely in the desert. All passengers survive, but 2 heroes vanish. Safe landing leaves Du Du trembling in relief, joy and fear tangled after cheating death. Hearing talk of big shot Ruji, Duo Du is confused. The true savior is gone. Seeing Ting Tiao Feng fake heroics, Du Du angrily demands where he took Xu wrong. Passengers recount that a metal controller and Shang Yu Xu La saved the plane, then disappeared. Before cameras, Ting Tiao Feng lies smoothly, claiming Shang Yu died from exhaustion while he saved some. Amid the lies, a cold voice cuts in, exposing his act on the spot. Yang Yi appears holding Shang Yu's corpse, calling out Ting Tiao Feng and tearing off his mask. Duo Du panics, seeing the lethal hole in Shang Yu's chest, nothing like death by depletion. The crowd grows suspicious as abnormal wounds surface, truth squeezing Ting Tiao Feng out. Yang Yi publicly accuses Ting Tiao Feng of backstabbing Shang Yu after using him. He points out matching blood evidence, one test, and the truth explodes. Cornered, Ting Tiao Feng admits killing his teammate to steal all the fame. Laughing madly, he confesses collusion with Zone 35, a refugee hating Zone 2. Ting Tiao Feng unleashes a massive storm, vowing to drag all Zone 2 to death with him. He recounts a miserable childhood in Zone 35, no sun, dirty water, endless hunger. First entering Zone 2 has stunned by wealth, birthing inferiority and hatred. Realizing the injustice, his ability and soul relic awaken from twisted resentment. From nobody he used terror, then played savior to climb into Arank herohood. Shang Yu's arrival stole the spotlight, driving him to murder. Duo Du screams that has become the very monster he once hated. Ting Tiao Feng creates a terrifying black hole, instantly spiraling things out of control. Yang Yi realizes his soul relic has evolved to Shrank, an extreme threat. Trembling, Duo Du asks if Yang Yi is sure he can beat and Shrank's soul relic. Yang Yi coldly confronts him, exposing how he slaughtered civilians to satisfy hatred. The naked truth hits an Arank hero with millions of fans is a deranged killer. Yang Yi declares firmly, when a former victim turns murderer, no excuse deserves forgiveness. Ting Tiao Feng sneers arrogantly, giving Yang Yi 100 seconds to run before sentencing him to death. Ignoring the threat, Yang Yi activates metal control and chooses to fight instead of flee. Waves of metal darts swirl around Yang Yi, overwhelming pressure igniting Ting Tiao Feng's rage. Yang Yi vanishes without a trace, sending Ting Tiao Feng into a frantic, furious search. The black hole collapses, and everyone trapped inside begins free-falling. Ting Tiao Feng panics as he realizes his soul relic code is out of control. Yang Yi reappears, seizing the Shrank code, his first deadly clash against an equal soul relic. Yang Yi urgently calls Duo to save the falling people, forcing her hand in crisis. Duo throws dozens of pricey mutant eggs, burning money to save lives. Slime from shattered eggs cushions everyone, stopping mass casualties by a hair. Ting Tiao Feng goes berserk, screaming to reclaim his soul relic at any cost. He unleashes tracking bullets at Yang Yi, turning the fight extremely lethal. Realizing dodging won't last, Yang Yi stops and faces the bullet storm head-on. Ting Tiao Feng regains the coat, power surging as the tide fully tilts his way. He smugly reveals the soul-type relic attacks the mind, nullifying Yang Yi's healing. Green drugs emerge from the coat, signaling an even deadlier power spike. The coat forces Ting Tiao Feng to swallow the drugs, proving it's beyond his control. The relic expands and seals the space. Yang Yi realizes escape is impossible. Ting Tiao Feng admits in terror has lost control of the Shrank relic. Thousands of star-shaped objects latch onto Yang Yi and heat up. He realizes they're explosives. Ting Tiao Feng laughs viciously, convinced Yang Yi has been blown to pieces. Duo breaks down, believing Ruji the great god has fallen. Yang Yi suddenly emerges from a stone shield, admitting he nearly died to the trap. Seeing him alive, everyone erupts in joy, faith in Ruji restored. Yang Yi faces Ting Tiao Feng, wielding Shang Yu's snow armor relic to end the feud. Shang Yu's image appears, shattering Ting Tiao Feng's emotions at the final moment. Yang Yi vows revenge for Shang Yu, denying the traitor any path back. Metal soul absorption activates Ting Tiao Feng, doesn't even grasp what hits him. Blood erupts as Ting Tiao Feng turns to ash, fitting punishment for his crimes. The Stormcoat soul relic is seized, introducing itself as a dangerous sentient soul relic. Yang Yi warns that taming such relics requires staying stronger forever. Yang Yi leaves the scene to rescue teams, ignoring Duo's tearful pleas. At Shang Yu's home, his son plays soccer, still waiting for a father who won't return. Yang Yi gently stops the ball, sharing a final quiet moment before restoring peace. He places snow armor mist on the boy's back, letting the father's shadow stay with him. The boy happily plays with the shadow, unaware it's a silent farewell. Duo excitedly retells the battle. Yang Yi is now a living legend in her eyes. Mentioning those left in the desert, Xiaorong still shivers in fear. They remind themselves to cherish life, then return to Fan High Trade Guild business. Duo presents an invitation from Kaiju, sensing fate quietly tying her to Yang Yi. Yang Yi suddenly appears behind Xiaorong, startling both before they can react. Duo deduces Yang Yi's Sai-Shi identity, claiming to be Ruji's life and death ally. Yang Yi leads them to the spoils, triggering a hidden mechanism under Duo's feet. The ground opens and Duo drops straight down amid Xiaorong's screams. The scream turns into excitement when Duo spots the massive treasure below. Before her rise mountains of gold and jewels, far beyond imagination. Yang Yi declares all loot handed to Fan High Trade Guild for cooperation. Elsewhere, a young man on oxygen gas for his brother, signaling new trouble. At Lugang Airport, amid the crowd, someone suddenly calls Yang Yi's name. Lin Naishu rushes over to hug Yang Yi, panicked after thinking he died in the hijacking. She sobs in his arms, forcing Yang Yi to soothe her gently under jealous stares. Yang Yi pats Xiao Shu's head, assuring his fine and cutting her fears short. He takes Xiao Shu home and suggests meeting his adopted son, sparking curiosity and reluctant agreement. Elsewhere, Liao Yuan vents bitterness at being abandoned by his foster father, feeling like a mere tool. The mental system triggers, knocking two girls out as Yang Yi's oppressive entrance begins. Yang Yi bluntly puts Liao Yuan in his place, then declares him his most promising core asset. Breaking rules, Yang Yi grants Liao Yuan an official spiritual pact to prove it. Liao Yuan is dragged into the soul space, facing an array far beyond common sense. He realizes in shock his broken bodily limits and entered the mental realm. Yang Yi explains the pact lets them share a single soul space. The gem on Liao Yuan's forehead is the pact mark symbolizing mental linkage. Liao Yuan's spirit erupts, summoning a massive city within the soul space. Yang Yi sits atop the highest throne, officially revealing authority in Cloud Summit Palace. He introduces it as Kaiju's communication core, accessible only to true elites. Liao Yuan seriously asks his position, showing resolve to go deeper. Yang Yi reveals he's only a candidate, forced to compete with real strength. Liao Yuan realizes he must even face his biological father. The Kaiju struggle is brutal. Despite pressure, Liao Yuan refuses to quit and asks for a mission immediately. Yang Yi assigns a deadly task: lure his own father into an ambush. Liao Yuan slips and mentions Mao Tu, making Yang Yi sweat since that's his clone. Yang Yi kicks Liao Yuan out of the soul space, ending the tense meeting. The quiet night shatters as news posts a massive bounty on our Chiro branch. Hearing branch, Yang Yi jolts. He knows this is a dangerous new target. Lin Naishu appears with roast chicken and a seductive outfit, instantly flustering Yang Yi. Dinner turns to branch when Lin Naishu notices Yang Yi's unusual focus on the news. She jokes to change topics but can't hide her concern about Branch. She explains Branch is suspected of colluding with a secret ability group after heroes vanished. Lin Naishu senses Yang Yi's fixation, jealousy quietly igniting. Yang Yi says Branch may be innocent, has seen her risk her life to save others. Comparison pressure makes Lin Naishu explode, feeling inferior without abilities. Yang Yi hugs and kisses to calm her, insisting Branch isn't personal. He sweet-talks that Lin Naishu is perfect to him, utterly irreplaceable. Yang Yi vows to someday return her abilities and apologize properly. Back to work, Yang Yi is surprised when Tian Duodu sends dark web intel early. Through the dark web, he taps into Fan High Trade Guild's underground intel system. For just 100,000 Wailan credits, Yang Yi buys his first detailed intel file. The intel is scary accurate, even logging his past secret actions. Yang Yi decides to splurge on high-tier intel directly tied to Branch. Intel reveals Branch is hunted for alleged ties to Kaiju and the Masked Man. Rumors of a romantic link give Yang Yi a headache, fearing Lin Naishu's misunderstanding. Yang Yi suspects Branch is targeted precisely because of indirect ties to himself. Elsewhere, Ma Long rages after his biological father strips his chance to enter Bai Song. Ma Long believes his sidelined due to losing to Yang Yi, resentment deepening. Jijia Zhanshang insists Bai Song is lethal, banning his son to protect him. Ma Long tells Liao Yuan Bing Chuan Yangzhu was chosen to replace him in Bai Song. Sensing danger, Liao Yuan enters Cloud Summit Palace via the spiritual pact to report. Yang Yi is already waiting, clearly expecting major intel. Liao Yuan reports his father plans to send Bing Chuan Yangzhu to Bai Song to dodge accountability. Yang Yi judges acting now would stir the hornet's nest, as Bing Chuan Yangzhu has deep ties. Suspecting his foster father's plan has shifted, Yang Yi orders Liu Yuan to verify, forcing proactive prep. Once Benu and Bing Chuan enter Bai Shuang, Liu Yuan gets the order since all variables become nicely manageable. Before the Bai Shuang trip, Yang Xi secretly upgrades his abilities while Xiao Xiu is away, minimizing rookie mistakes. The Brank disguise ability lets Yang Xi alter looks, voice, and personality. Survival DLC unlocked. By repeatedly boosting Clone Water God and Flame to high tiers, Yang Shai pushes his power past the safety label. Now fiercely wanted, Bulanqi realizes she's gone from hero to criminal and must flee Lugang nonstop. Angry and confused, Bulanqi can't grasp why the organization hunts her blindly instead of judging right from wrong. Just when escape seems certain, an assassin blocks Bulanqi's path. This chase is far from over. The assassin kills innocents to bait Bulanqi out, forcing her into a rage-fueled showdown. He uses poison hidden weapons, aiming to speedrun Bulanqi's death. Bulanqi is badly poisoned, her resistance tanking as danger spikes instantly. As Bulanqi nears death, Lin Naishu appears and is dragged into the lethal vortex. The assassin turns on Lin Naishu, determined to erase anyone linked to Bulanqi. At the life-or-death instant, a mysterious force shatters the hidden weapons and blocks doom. Yang Shi arrives to shield them both, refusing to let chaos escalate further. The assassin recognizes Yang Shi as Tisa, the one who wiped out Sheng Tu, and the threat level explodes. They clash and Yang Shi finds the enemy absurdly strong, forcing a rapid reassessment. Bulanqi spots familiar moves, confirming the foe is Wang Shushan, once jailed for life. Wang Shushan boasts of reaching Shrank abilities, thanks to a backer who busted her out. Yang Shi knows fighting would endanger Xiao Shu, so he opts for intimidation over suicide. He plays mind games, invoking Kaiju and fake Shrank reinforcements to make Wang Shushan hesitate. Facing possible encirclement, Wang Shuxian retreats, ending the deadly standoff for now. The group exhales it was mutual bluffing, but Bulanqi's identity still can't surface. Poisoned and hunted, Bulanqi can't visit a hospital and must detox in hiding to survive. Yangshi returns disguised as a normal guy, accidentally sliding into a fresh, risky cover. Lin Naishu bluntly claims Yangshi as her boyfriend, forcing him to instantly play human shield. With Bulanqi injured and sensitive, Lin Naishu insists on hiding her at home. Yangshi carries Bulanqi back, confirming she was hunted the moment she reached Lugang. Bulanqi can't understand why a criminal like her gets saved, proving the situation is badly twisted. Lin Naishu insists Bulanqi once risked her life to save others, so she can't be evil. The trio deduces someone used a boxer's death to smear Bulanqi and attack Kaiju. Bulanqi reveals ability circles fear Kaiju, even spreading rumors it wants to rule Area 53. She realizes the chase isn't for bounty, but for exaggerated claims she colluded with Kaiju. Bulanqi explains the inter-area ability balance pact, making all factions hypersensitive to change. Yangshi connects the dots, realizing many heroes were reassigned just to maintain strategic balance. Kaiju's rise with Shrank abilities creates pressure, becoming an excuse for others to unite and suppress it. They see that a single rumor could ignite a planet-scale ability war. Yangshi worries about chaos inside and out. Bai Shuang Beasts advance as internal plots surface. Bulanqi insists she came to Lugang to help Kaiju uncover the truth, opposite of the rumors. She trusts Pai Shi of Kaiju, having survived together, and vows to dig out the conspiracy. Scene shifts to Fan High Trade Union, where tycoons start eyeing the swelling Kaiju. Qian Buhai plans and Shrank weapons and Relic Expo to probe Kaiju's strength and stance. A brief calm morning passes. Lin Naishu leaves on a mission, leaving two behind. Bulanqi chooses to depart, as her mission continues despite relentless pursuit ahead. She walks into danger because Kaiju's truth matters more than her life. Bulanqi vanishes without a trace, showing she never meant to rely on protection. Yangshi heads to sea to test the Shenlong ability, gearing up for major collisions. On a yacht, another faction provokes Qian Duodu, flaunting top ability users. The enemy openly humiliates them, pushing conflict past reconciliation. Yangshi arrives just in time, officially stepping into the clash of major powers. Yangshi publicly declares himself the Shenlong of Kaiju, dragging his fake identity into the spotlight. The crowd erupts, snapping photos, as Kaiju reveals yet another mysterious young powerhouse. Yangshi refuses to leave, pointing at the troublemaker, clearly the one who should scram isn't from Fan High. Gayer angrily orders an attack, determined to publicly slap Shenlong down with force. Fire Dragon Staff and Dark Swordmaster strike together, instantly upgrading the clash to deathmatch mode. A colossal river god guardian manifests behind Yangshi, crushing the enemy's momentum on spawn. Dark Swordmaster is fully restrained, realizing one wrong twitch equals instant death. A water spear through the shoulder leaves him gravely wounded, exposing an unbridgeable power gap. Fire Dragon Staff desperately counters with a Fire Dragon, betting the sea terrain can flip the table. Yangshi coldly points out the miscalculation is not a one-element kind of monster. Activating Lord Consciousness, Yangshi directly hijacks control of the enemy's flames. The Fire Dragon turns traitor. Fire Dragon Staff panics and flees, admitting he met a dual-element freak. The crowd is shaken. Kaiju has a young dual-element powerhouse, and the legend just got scarier. Yangshi calmly ends the conflict, leaving the instigators to flee in peak humiliation. Qian Duodu seizes the moment, asking Shenlong to contact Yuji for a beast weapon auction invite. Yangshi offers a soul contract, upgrading the invite into external membership with Kaiju. Qian Duodu and Xiaorong instantly agree standing with Kaiju is a on-scene-of-time deal. News of Shenlong spreads. Ma Long departs at once, signaling incoming turbulence. At the Fan High auction, Yangshi officially appears as Yuji before the elite circle. Yangshi senses Gayer's deliberate presence. This auction was never going to be peaceful. Gayer brings beast weapons to provoke, openly questioning the Chuan family's quality and credibility. Qian Buhui suppresses his anger, choosing strength over pointless shouting. Yangshi lifts the black veil to reveal the blue sword, quietly declaring Kaiju will keep order. The auction begins with Heidier beast armor, dragging all factions into the whirlpool. Prices skyrocket instantly, hinting at brutal undercurrents beneath the bidding. Gayer scoffs, convinced the auction's just bluffing. No way, they have Emperor beast weapons. The host unveils Qianla's gloves of light, forcing the entire hall to get serious. Hearing it's a clan-suppressing treasure, the crowd is stunned. The Qian family dares sell it. Fire Dragon Staff confirms it's a 2-star Shrank item that forcibly pushes users into threshold. The price jump stuns Xiaorong. Qian Duodu feels regret, but knows Grandpa can't keep it. Qian Buhui hints at raising the bid, accidentally cornering Yangshi with Kaiju's limited funds. Qian Buhui directly backs the money, forcing Yangshi to accept the favor and enter the gamble. Yangshi bids 315 million, a risky leap knowing troublemakers are waiting behind the scenes. Gayer doesn't follow, smelling good drama, clearly prepping another move. Gloves of light go to Yangshi, a surface victory that's actually perfect bait. Gayer steps on stage with his sword, halting the auction to force cards onto the table. He demands a public test, turning the auction into a humiliation arena for the Chuan family. Yangshi sees through the provocation, knowing the opponent finally lost patience. Qian Duodu asks to borrow the gloves of light to duel, forcing Yangshi to choose trust or stop her. Yangshi calmly reassures her, already holding the script. He waits for the cell phone. The blue sword slashes a beast weapon, a sure wind strike that actually opens disaster mode. The blue sword shatters before all eyes, the backlash nuking young Master Wu Lu Kei's dignity. The hall erupts in mockery. Turns out the noble hair was flexing with a fake. Wu Lu-Kei's underlings accuse Yangshi of tampering, trying to redirect the blame. Young Master Wu Lu-Kei demands testing more weapons, convinced proof can flip the game. Results show the other weapons are normal, instantly collapsing the blame narrative. Qian Duodu explodes and kicks them out, silencing young Master Wu Lu-Kei in public shame. Wu Lu-Kei retreats in doubt while Yangshi exhales. He already siphoned the energy earlier. Meanwhile in Lugang, Bulan-Qi discovers she's ambushed by the 5 elementals, danger imminent. Yangshi reveals the secret of ability cores and weapons, explaining why he hollowed the blue sword. Xiaorong links ability cores to metallurgical activity, forcing Yangshi to clarify the deeper difference. Yangshi lays his cards on the table, stating the organization uses spirit-draining rings to forcibly harvest ability cores. Qian Buhui admits a lifetime of metallurgy never taught this concept, realizing it's a system-level breakthrough. He brings out a Brank Beast equipment for testing, determined to see if Yangshi is bluffing. Yangshi extracts the activity on the spot and returns the brush, forcing Qian Buhui to verify it himself. The activity is truly drained dry, leaving Qian Buhui shaken as metallurgical fundamentals collapse. Yangshi bluntly says the cores refine ability potions, explaining why the organization has many pseudo-abilities. He crushes dreams of mass-producing shrank gear, stressing there are limits no tech can break. Yangshi asks why only parts of beasts hold extreme activity, hitting the core mystery deaden. Qian Buhui explains postmortem convergence, where essence condenses into specific organs. Qian Buhui offers to teach metallurgy, indirectly acknowledging Yangshi as an academic equal. Scene cuts to Lugang where aircraft appear, signaling a larger-scale ability hunt is imminent. 3 pseudo-ability users emerge with greedy eyes, treating prey as loot already claimed. Malong appears, denying traitor status while declaring the 5-man group won't be spared. Malong vanishes in a flash and ambushes, opening a massacre with 0 reaction time. 3 different ability types surround him, forcing Malong into an extreme 1 over Sesmini. Malong breaches the line instantly, reappearing behind Xiaorong to spread despair. He shifts his target to Bulan-Qi, declaring the next turn and freezing the air. Liao Yuan grows anxious. If Bulan-Qi is internal and dies, it becomes a political disaster. An urgent message reaches Yangshi. Malong is hunting Bulan-Qi, fully out of control. Yangshi orders reinforcements, proving Bulan-Qi is too valuable to abandon. He takes out 2 elemental ability orbs, preparing to boost Shenlong. 2 rank abilities activate, showing Yangshi pushing combat power to a new tier. Malong gives Bulan-Qi time to call for help, fake mercy mixed with psychological pressure. Bulan-Qi dodges by inches and draws her golden sword, the clash officially igniting. She spins into a surprise counter, the golden blade piercing Malong his first cry of pain. Bulan-Qi presses nonstop, denying recovery and forcing him to barely hold on. Malong threatens to force her to call aid, but she stubbornly refuses despite heavy wounds. Bulan-Qi activates a rigid golden barrier head-in, while Malong claims is just warming up. The barrier cracks fast. Bulan-Qi grits her teeth, knowing retreat equals defeat. Malong chokes Bulan-Qi midair, yet she screams refusal break before kneel. Enraged, Malong hurls her into a wall, thus masking a grim outcome. Netizens erupt, torn between cursing a traitor and defending a past human savior. Malong's allies try to stop him, fearing excess, but he calls it siding with a traitor. Bulan-Qi stands up from the dust, calling Malong out with unbroken defiance. She sneers and declares round 2, turning survival into an honor duel with no exit. Malong charges again, loudly dumping all consequences on Bulan-Qi to justify murder. A fatal blow is blocked by a colossal water wall, flipping the situation instantly. A giant water figure lifts Bulan-Qi to safety. Reinforcements finally arrive. A masked figure apologizes for being late, confirming Bulan-Qi belongs to the organization. Bulan-Qi stays silent, knowing survival means her identity can turn back now. Shenlong appears before Malong, questioning him like it's trivial business. Shenlong controls a massive water hand, crushing Malong with overwhelming force. Another water hand slams down from above, signaling a no-resistance finisher. A thunderous blast tears the night apart, ending the hunt with absolute power. Scene shifts to Yangshi leaving the tower, opening a secret branch parallel to the battle. Yangshi recalls the notebook Elder Qian gave him, an ancient metallurgist's diary. He finds hidden text visible only to mental force, far beyond common knowledge. The diary reveals the author came from another plane, accidentally arriving in this world. It leaves clues about the Philosopher's Stone, a treasure to save humanity from future enslavement. A sudden beam of light shoots into Yangshi's head, unlocking a key lead to the Philosopher's Stone. He senses the white light as a positioning key, confirming the path to the Philosopher's Stone is officially unlocked. Yangshi leaves, pondering that beast worlds hide civilizations far beyond Blue Star. At the scene, live broadcasts show Malong still pinned under rubble, terrifying viewers with the organization's might. Shenlong speaks calmly to the drone cams, openly claiming kaiju affiliation to soothe the crowd. Malong roars into Phase 3 transformation, human consciousness fading as danger spikes hard. Seeing control slipping, Shenlong shields reporters and steps up to fight head-on. At Changqing, Shenlong erects ice statues and formations, waiting for Malong to charge to his doom. Malong shreds structures with fangs and tail, proving destruction beyond rank hero standards. The battle spreads to nearby buildings, dragging bystanders into lethal danger. A massive boulder drops toward a reporter, disaster seconds away. Shenlong saves them in time, knowingly weakening his own defense. A wandering swordsman exploits the gap, piercing Shenlong with a long-prepared strike. Comment sections explode. Shenlong was hurt saving civilians. Public opinion flips fast. Teammates land a 1,000-pound punch in support, forcing Ma Long to keep tanking damage. Shen Long counters, activating Scythe Lure to rain crescent blades and corner Ma Long. Ma Long takes a fatal hit, body going limp as he freefalls. Endgame window opens. Shen Long closes in, unleashing full power fists and kicks with zero mercy. Ma Long is slammed into the ground in panic, utterly unable to resist. As dust clears, Ma Long reverts to human form and blacks out. The fight is decided. Shen Long binds both Ma Long and the swordsman, forcing the mecha war hero to choose. Naishu realizes in shock this isn't just an arrest, but a power transaction. The mecha war hero arrives in person with subordinates, confirming his entry into the game. A flashback reveals the deal with Yangtze investigate Black Veil in exchange for rank dual ability potions. The mecha war hero accepts sacrificing subordinates. Trading for 2 rank heroes is worth it. Han Shihai panics and flees, knowing he crossed the line and punishment is immediate. Has cut down before escape, limbs severed, turning flight into a bloody death sentence. Liu An watches smugly from afar. This chaos is his stepping stone to new ability drugs. Question: Shen Long lists Han's crimes, mass killing and drug abuse, justifying righteous execution. He tosses Ma Long and the swordsman to the mecha war hero. Cleanup done, rest left to allies. Bing Chuan suddenly self-detonate blue light, forcing both back as freezing fog floods the field. He regenerates limbs from ice, floats midair and taunts revenge right after revival. In bitter rage, he declares everyone must die today, pushing the fight past mercy. Shen Long summons the immortal bird, unleashing max firepower to halt the ice onslaught. Bing Chuan fires dense ice rain, convinced cold can freeze even fire monsters solid. He charges to counterattack, pressuring the airborne mecha into instant response. Missiles collide midair, erupting in a horrific blast that temporarily balances the field. The mecha fires green laser eyes, realizing the drug boosts quantity, not quality. Hit deaden, Bing Chuan crashes to the ground, making both think the threat is over. Green fluid gushes from his body, signaling the danger isn't done. The liquid morphs into fanged tentacles, instantly escalating the threat beyond control. Tentacles bind the mecha war hero, turning tech advantage into a panic-inducing trap. Bing Chuan laughs madly, savoring rebirth. His will now deadlier than raw power. A mysterious figure appears, revealing this is failed experiment 0.52 with overstandard destruction. He plans to harvest the final essence, letting humans exhaust the monster first. Naishu reports from afar, warning the regenerative tentacles are too strong. Retreat is only temporary. She realizes Bing Chuan's body became parasitic, far beyond normal transformation. Shen Long slashes tentacles with scythes, but more sprout, spiking combat pressure. Bing Chuan mocks his boss, boasting Hell Devar Corporation after eating him. To numb pain, he eats his own head, pure madness, proving humanity is gone. Watching this self-cannibalism, Shen Long realizes it's just a shell. The true core is hidden and must be found. Jijia Zhanshang agrees to use the bear-piercing egg, but demands Shen Long release the restraints first. To save allies, Shen Long summons the immortal bird to burn tentacles, carving a path in crisis. Seizing the monster's pain window, Jijia Zhanshang leaps and hurls the egg straight at the core. He coldly warns of a 500-meter blast radius. Shen Long curses and bolts for safety. The egg flares violently, sweeping every corner and leaving the monster nowhere to hide. A world-shaking explosion shreds the creature, victory tasting like pure annihilation. Though he escapes, Shen Long loses both legs, bitterly realizing Jijia Zhanshang is deadlier than he looks. As monster fragments begin regenerating, viewers panic. It's not dead yet. In despair, Shiren Chuake appears, declaring this beast can't die without him. Lin Naishu calls it Liu Gang's longest night, as beyond logic power devastates the city. Through tears, she still believes hope lives. More heroes are entering the fray. Shen Long mocks the gathered crowd. Food for monsters, or fighters, pick one. He orders everyone back, unwilling to drag others into the coming finisher. And if Gene Alert flashes a gray orb, drains energy in his hand, self-destruct chosen. Shiren Chuake realizes killing it needs point-blank core access, and Shen Long is the key. A sudden blast erupts, space shuddering as the battlefield is swallowed. When smoke clears, the monster is gone, leaving a heavy silence and a brutal price. Legless, Shen Long still self-destructs, choosing mutual ruin to save the city. Yangtze announces a new Shen Long successor is born, wielding fused-daring power. 2 figures stand high watching sunset, ending the war in weighted silence. A deep blue gem appears. Jijia Zhanshang reaches to claim the spoils. A blue sword suddenly pierces him, revealing another force lurking in the dark. The mystery foe sneers at human abilities, calling them luck merchants, not strong. Yuhuan demands the deep blue essence back, igniting a fresh clash of giants. Lin Naishu finds all cameras mentally jammed. Someone is burying the truth. Yangtze deduces the mastermind is Windsor, hiding for a bigger scheme. He provokes them outright. If we're enemies, what's your move? No compromise, Yao Hong lunges to strike, forcing open combat. Yangtze fires Tier 3 mental shock, blocking the blow and seizing dominance instantly. The shattered weapon horrifies Yao Huang. Humans reached 3rd tier mental force. Thinking of Fei Fei in a coma, Yangtze vows no mercy for the Shenlan clan. Yao Huang cites an urgent mission and flees, promising to return for the essence. Yangtze refuses escape, blasting mental pursuit to force a turn back. He forms a piercing weapon, ending resistance in a blink. Yangtze coldly declares Yao Huang a kaiju prisoner, choice is revoked. He interrogates him for the truth about Bing Chuanyang Shi and the green pills. Yao Huang reveals primordial seeds parasitize Shenlan souls, mutating life step by step. The parasitic roots lock on a souls. The stronger the soul, the worse the mutation. Shenlan spreads green pills to screen hosts, quietly converting humans. Bing Chuanyang Shi was a failed case, deep green deformity and total loss of control. Enraged, Yang presses, is there any way to save the infected? A green beam bursts from Yao Huang's face, breaking control in an instant. Yao Huang turns to light and escapes Yang fumes one step late again. The smoke reveals manager Ayang's corpse primordial has deeply infiltrated the Hero Association. Yang Xi judges the primordial organization's reach far exceeds expectations. He sets political terms. Liu Yuan replaces Malonga's Colin's heir. Deal sealed. When Liu Yuan hits our rank hero, he takes over Colin officially. Yang Xi assigns tasks and rushes to the hospital. Fei Fei comes first. En route, he senses Bing Chuan Yangshi's death was off, pushing him to confirm. The mecha reveals a deal with Duji. Liu Yuan inherits Colin in exchange for rank ability regents. Liu Yuan feels uneasy about the sudden decision, sensing betrayal of Ma Long and damage to brotherhood. In Liu Yuan's heart, the real goal is inheriting Shen Long's will in Kaiju, not a family company. Jijia sees his son has grown up, yet worries his underestimating the father-son bond. Despite the fierce reaction, Jijia hugs him, affirming that growth can't be denied. On the road, Yang Xi finds Bulan Qi exhausted and offers a hand to pull her up. Bulan Qi breaks down, blaming herself for Shen Long's death, her mental burden still crushing. Yang Xi reassures her it wasn't her fault, then takes her away so Kaiju can handle the aftermath. At the hospital, Yang Xi spots a green glow barrier and senses danger waiting inside. A ferocious green zombie appears, confirming mass mutations among hospital staff. The daytime hallway turns into a green monster nest, forcing non-stop combat. Yang Xi knocks them down barehanded, efficiently clearing threats before pushing deeper. After cleanup, he exhales. Fei Fei isn't in the mutated zone. Yang Xi finds Fei Fei floating in a ward, mutated cells clearly visible inside her body. He sees the primordial seed only claimed half, meaning Fei Fei still has a chance. Fei Fei's will holds the other half, locked in a fierce tug-of-war with the green cincture. Awakening, Fei Fei attacks in panic and questions Yang Xi's identity. Yang Xi reveals childhood secrets, using private memories to prove has her brother. Trust restored, he immediately takes Fei Fei away before mutation spreads further. Back home, Lin Naishu rejoices at Fei Fei's miracle recovery and prepares a celebratory meal. She admits how small humans are before unknown power, leaving deep unease. After Shenlong's death, Lin Naishu concludes loved ones must be cherished. Yang Xi lightens the mood with mundane chatter, dragging everyone back to reality. Fei Fei happily joins dinner, showing she's temporarily out of danger. The trio gathers at the table, ending the tragedy with rare peace. Seeing Fei Fei safe, Yang Xi steals his resolve. Any price is worth it if loved ones don't worry. He firmly asks Fei Fei to keep playing dead, as the mutated hospital makes all attention lethal. Yang Xi warns her never to leak secrets. The more you know, the faster you're hunted. Fei Fei agrees obediently but asks him not to shoulder everything alone. She wants to face danger together. Instead of fear, Fei Fei accepts mutation, gaining new knowledge in return. Yang Xi confirms Fei Fei is stable and prepares to assign her a key backstage role. Lin Naishu receives a safer mission, easing Yang Xi's worries amid nonstop danger. She smiles to reassure him this time she's just hosting, not charging the front lines. Yang Xi notices a green jade token on Lin Naishu's wrist, signaling protective abilities granted. The Brankshichi ability auto-protects its user, making him suspect deeper arrangements. Elsewhere, Bulan Qi recuperates at a hot spring, briefly away from the bloodshed. At Yunding Heavenly Palace, Bulan Qi faces the High Council, ready for a turning point mission. Yang Xi assigns her to scout the 4 Great Sea regions, promising promotion if she survives. Bulan Qi kneels without hesitation, accepting trials in the world's deadliest zones. Beneath the mask, Yang Xi is relieved Kaiju scout team finally has a true powerhouse. He announces the overall deployment, declaring all critical pieces are in position. Lu An and Shi Ren Chuake are tasked to probe links between Colin Company and the Shenlen clan. Ye Fan is planted in the Hero Association's upper ranks, becoming a key Kaiju chess piece. With arrangements done, Yang Xi goes to meet an old friend to complete the final puzzle. Ye Fan admits his body is 7 times stronger than normal, still far from his true limit. Yang Xi is stunned. Tenfold strength already meets aren't combat standards. He declares Ye Fan will be the brightest rising star of the Global Ability Summit. Yang Xi warns of lurking danger and activates puppet control, ready to seize command if needed. Elsewhere, Huang Qiaolao is blocked by 2 members of Hu Yunxi, igniting fresh conflict. She dodges by inches and counters, carving a dent in the enemy's horn and spiking tension. Bad luck strikes. Huang Qiaolao steps on a mine, the forest explosion instantly escalating the battle. Amid smoke and dust, a sword ambushes Ami, throwing him into instant passive mode. Huang Qiao hefts a cannon and taunts confidently, deliberately hiding her ability to prolong advantage. Di Fan suddenly charges in with a brutal kick, flooring Amy and shocking Huang Qiao. He tells Huang Qiao to stop wrecking things. This place hosts the Yanjing University selection soon. Huang Qiao judges Di Fan at least rank, enough to crush Lodi or pseudo-ability users. She introduces herself as Huan Ju, hinting at cooperation if they meet at the selection. Huang Qiao teasingly grabs Di Fan's hand to invite him for late-night food, leaving him flustered. Yang Xi possesses Di Fan, smoothly declines, and retreats to dodge pointless trouble. Huang Qiao laughs excitedly, sensing this selection will be wildly entertaining. On Yunhai Road, Nabi appears to open the livestream as official commentator. Lin Naishu announces the rules: cross the route, any movement method allowed. Nabi stresses that simple rules hide brutal traps and obstacles. The countdown echoes as all candidates take positions for the survival race. The starting gun fires. Di Fan's eyes sharpen as the test begins. Some candidates rocket upward with jetpacks, creating instant gaps. Lu Fei gets dive-bombed by ducks midair, tumbling into comic disaster. Lin Naishu recognizes them as the Black Duck Gang annoying Brank summoners. Racing vehicles roar off, turning the exam into a chaotic speedway. Police and lecturers suddenly block roads, revealing traffic law traps. Lecturers warn even in exams heroes must not endanger civilians. Ming Kui runs while mocking he predicted vehicle users would hit traps. Distracted, Ming Kui crashes into an old man, both slammed to the ground. The old man is badly hurt, bleeding heavily. Things turn serious. Ming Kui hesitates, then leaves, raising a moral dilemma. The old man scolds him, what's the point of being a hero if you dodge responsibility? Ye Fan vaults rooftops and spots Huanju flying. Proof illusions are in play. Realizing it's no accident, Ye Fan knows the test probe's skill and character. Huanju confirms the old man was an illusion. Ye Fan passed the mental trap. Ye Fan goes alert, sensing real enemies closing in. Two mysterious suitability users appear on the roof. This exceeds school plans. Nabi confirms they're off-script, but lecturers are secretly monitoring. A dean watches from afar, tasking Lu Shen to test while ready to rescue. Amel declares himself Brank hero and moves to intimidate Ye Fan and Huanju. He beast transforms fangs and fur out, pushing real danger. While tense, Huanju gets excited by the cute foe, leaving Ye Fan speechless. Ye Fan claims the beast foe, splitting duties to avoid pincer attacks. Yangshi quietly coaches feel every muscle movement to control power. Ye Fan counters in a flash, punching Amel's gut before he can react. The blow caves the chest, proving Ye Fan far exceeds standard Brank. Elsewhere, currents carry strange creatures onto a deserted island, hinting at parallel schemes. The creature reports Duji of Kaiju reached Tier 3 mental force, far above peers. A black-cloaked figure panics. This plane birthed a Tier 3 existence. Fei Fei tells Yangxi the D Blue roots awaken and are sharing vision. She saw 3 Shenlen memory scenes, linkage deepening fast. 3 sites emerge: White Tower Zone 2, a club, and a mysterious villa. Yangxi locks onto the club, where Shenlen mingle like normal people. He suspects a powerless major shareholder's daughter is a key exploited link. Jijia Zhangsheng summons his 2 sons to announce a fate-changing decision. He hands the company to Li Yuan, officially stripping Ma Long's inheritance. Elder Chen questions Ma Long bluntly why Keiji rose so fast, forcing him to face true power roots. He dismissed talent, pointing out drug-induced powers and otherworldly backers as the real reason the organization ballooned. In overlapping memories, Yangshi spotted the goddess sigil and Red Rabbit collision point incoming. At the villa, Yangshi kept Mao Tu close, wanting to scout the enemy himself before things went nuclear. Mao Tu fumed at being treated like jewelry, but Yangshi's head pat forced a tactical truce. Lin calmly sipped coffee, convinced the uninvited guest wasn't threat-worthy yet. Yangxi turned into a viper. The black snake smashed the Venus statue, opening with pressure, not talk. Lin bluntly asked about reviving the dead, needing to confirm his last shred of hope before flipping. No desired answer. Lin fired immediately. The target had lost all resale value. Yangxi appeared behind him, blade at the shoulder, flipping the script and the initiative. Lin sneered and started a detonation countdown, sure the trap would wipe all clones. Green smoke coiled around Lin's hand. The countermeasure overshot expectations, birthing real fear. Mao Tu lounged cross-legged on a floating chair, chill vibes weaponized into mental pressure. Lin realized both Mao Tu and the Viper were active. He was being taken very seriously. He called Helen in, knowing solo play couldn't keep the balance. Helen questioned Mao Tu's identity, sensing familiar Greek in aura. Yangshi analyzed the auto-locking bullets, failed to crack it, and its instant death. He found a flame sigil on the shoe, the key to steering the bullet paths. The bullet missed and torched a tree, proving the lock technique was fully broken. Yangshi rushed with a purple orb, exploiting the enemy's wobble to seize tempo. Mao Tu jumped in, choosing Millie to cage Helen's movement. The purple orb grazed Helen's hand, then detonated. Panic defense couldn't null all the force. Lin raged at his injured body, sensing the scales tipping out of control. He swallowed a blue pill to force mutation. No boost now meant being crushed. Helen panicked and stopped her master. The mutation's price could exceed tolerance. Helen leapt before the mutating Lin, only she could prevent his spirit collapse. She jabbed a needle into his forehead, warning more primal particles would turn him into a greed aberration. Lin spun to shield Helen, tanking the purple orb in the back to spare her. Exhausted, he dropped fake glory and accepted death as final relief. Lin stroked Helen's hair, wishing to see her true face once more before closing his eyes. He confessed betraying humanity for a promise to revive his wife, thinking that was enough. Helen chose to become Greek and to replace the wife's soul, sacrificing herself. Lin vomited blood, realizing it was all self-deception. Helen had left him too. Before dying, he protected Helen, admitting she loved the wrong man, one who couldn't love. Lin revealed his last secret to Yangxi, the Mu hands tie back to Posi Trade Guild. He died in Helen's arms, leaving her wailing at being left alone. Mao Tu asked whether to deal with Helen. Yangxi hesitated at the moral fork. A green orb fell from Helen, becoming loot with a tragic price tag. Seeing the pair side by side, Mao Tu felt moved while Yangxi chose to leave, closing the chapter. At the university stadium, crowds gathered, signs the new generation was adapting to powers. Yangxi saw Ye Fan standing firm in the new world, even building connections. He handed the green orb to Ye Fan, fast-tracking him beyond the normal grind. Yangxi declared Ye Fan's power would be raised to rank, unlocking new limits. Before leaving the Four Seas, he tasked Ye Fan to keep training, expectations set high. Liao Yun opened the safe and got the ledger. The password was, unsurprisingly, his birthday. Ma Long quietly watched his brother, letting him take the intel despite unclear endgame. Yangxi confirmed the ledger covered all Four Seas foundation for the next plan. The map showed powers carving up the oceans, all danger trails leading to the free zone. Yang Sai chose the Free Alliance C as the first move, most chaos, most opportunity. At the farewell dinner, Yang Shi resolved to seek peace first, only then daring to be with his love. As the farewell music played, Yang Shi and Naishu kissed, both knowing the road ahead was long. Yang Xi knocked on the Qian family's door as an arbiter, officially stepping onto the Sea Power chessboard. Old Master Qian welcomed him lavishly, showing the Qian family had long accepted the arbiter's arrival. Yang Sai admitted a lucky break gave him rank power drugs, dragging him straight into arbiter duty. He openly revealed his ability to build trust, choosing face-up cards from the start. His naval Tongplum art was confirmed rank plain but perfectly seaworthy. Fei Fei was introduced as an rank esper backed by Mao Tu, earning extra Qian family respect. Yang Shi proposed entering the Free Alliance C under the Qian banner, cutting straight to strategy. Old Master Qian agreed instantly. The family also needed a comeback in maximum chaos. Before departure, Fei Fei showed reluctance, exposing the emotional toll of entering the underworld. Yang Sai explained hiding the 4 Cs prevents panic, a burden only insiders understand. He warned Fei Fei to protect herself. The Free Alliance C has zero tolerance for innocence. The Qian family deployed a 6-star alchemy ship, proving they were betting big. 3 survival gear sets were handed out, real battlefield ahead. The departure lineup appeared, mixing familiar faces with dangerous variables on one ship. Assad of the Bakshi Trade Guild showed up, instantly tightening the air with foreign influence. Old Master Chun chose patience and arranged lodging. It wasn't time to tear faces yet. Assad deliberately demanded Yangshi's room, opening a calculated provocation. Assad secretly investigated and fumed. A tiny Chun family dared defy him. He went straight to Yangshi's door, confident his status could force a bow. Yangshi baited him with sensitive intel, spotting Assad's lustful, greedy core. Assad fell for the mind trap, exposing flaws by trusting quick profits. Using photo intel, Yangshi locked onto Byron, a suspicious fast riser in the Gilin family. Yangshi confirmed Byron as a prime suspect capable of even using Assad. He ordered Assad to keep playing the arrogant hare, secretly probing Byron for the primal organization. Assad bowed and obeyed, his weakness controlled, forced into family espionage. He vented rage on subordinates, maintaining the spoiled air act to avoid suspicion. As the ship neared the island, Fei Fai thrilled at the giant stone gate. Free customs reached. Soul-chasing Spear No by 97 appeared to greet them, aura calm yet spin-chilling. Yangshi jolted. He never sensed the approach, realizing the gap was terrifying. Soul-chasing Spear invited all to a banquet, both welcome and covert probing. At the feast, Yangshi got swarmed by beauties, becoming an unintended spotlight. Fei Fei barged in to rescue him, fed up with pointless entanglements. She dragged him away, cleanly cutting off probing gazes. Xiaorong suggested the 3 Shells bar, turning awkwardness into risky fun. The bar felt like a giant aquarium, relaxing yet dangerously suggestive. A red-haired mermaid hostess appeared, announcing a special program. Glass shattered, water flooded, and guests stayed excited, not panicked. The MC hyped the room, opening the full merfolk transformation ritual. Yangshi sank awkwardly, realizing he alone hadn't fully adapted. He gaped as Fei Fei, Dada, and Xiaorong were already merfolk. Yangshi's legs became a black tail, raw power showing and making Xiaorong's eyes flicker. A colossal ferocious fish appeared, killing intent, sending merfolk into chaos. The whale-like beast charged, clearly targeting Yangshi's group for a test. Yangshi blocked with Dragon Rampart, forced to act before he wanted exposure. Scent flying and coughing blood, he knew this was a deliberate probe at him and Fei Fei. Yangshi calculated fast win without revealing true strength. Branch slashed hard but got his sword clamped by the whale, power gap on full display. Xiaorong judged it at peak rank, possibly touching S. Fei Fei erupted in blue light, water spiraling as she drew the whale's full attention. Fei Fei flash froze the whale, but this was only the opening move of a deadlier probe. The whale shattered the ice and charged Yangshi, forcing a head-on clash to shield Fei Fei. Yangshi triggered Plum Return Dash, realizing rank power alone couldn't crack the defense. He had to tap hidden strength. Stalling would expose weakness to all of Free Customs. A crushing punch landed, water exploded as the whale howled in pain. Yangshi panicked after nearly killing it. Too effective meant blowing his cover. Outsiders mistook the fight as still even, accidentally helping him hide the real result. The system logged rank killer while assassin ability, proving it was a transformed Esper. Yangshi faked severe injuries, the only way past all the probing eyes. Branch carried him away, making the critically wounded act extra convincing. Yangshi leaned into the role, trading image damage for strategic safety. He was sent to a private room. Old Master Chuan personally came to verify. Old Master Chuan shielded the investigation, knowing secrecy benefited everyone. He admitted too many factions were targeting the Chuan family, the culprit unclear. Clues quickly pointed to the Lifu Trade Guild and the Uruk family behind Free Customs. The Chuan family spread news of Yangshi's grave injuries, forcing him to lie low for days. Fei Fei suddenly reactivated greed vision. Danger clearly wasn't over. Yangshi sensed the surge growing stronger and urgently needed the Philosopher's Stone. He entered Fei Fei's memories, risking mental backlash to chase leads. A watchtower in the forest surfaced, a key site tied to the Greed clan. Poisoning scenes and infection rituals appeared, revealing a mass minion scheme. Yangshi concluded Fei Fei saw a young male Greed clansman expanding influence. He identified the youths as test subjects, hardening his resolve to purge the source. The scene cut to Zima Uruk, showing the Uruk family probing the Arbiter organization. A blood-red bath closed the chapter. Uruk's plot ran deeper than luxury. Rose Swordswoman appeared in jealous rage, seeking to kill Dima over a broken betrothal. Dima taunted her, admitting the real lover was scarier, pushing her into madness. Gima panicked and blurted the name Duji of the Arbiters, igniting irreparable hatred. Hearing Duji, the swordswoman spat blood and fury. Vowing his death, the feud went public. Aboard ship, Yangshi spotted a submarine-like target danger rising from the deep. The captain warned of the falling star pirates, led by Shrank necromancer Fan Bu. Old Master Chuan saw it as a joint probe aimed at the Arbiters and Chuan family. Yangshi volunteered to face the pirate boss. Experience points had come knocking. The ships closed in. The pirate leader stepped out. Collision inevitable. Fanbu raised his skull staff, declaring a dolphin plunder, cruelty on full display. Yangshi dove straight into the sea, stomping a pirate's head to open with dominance. A fox enchantress intercepted, provoking him into a mental trap. Yangshi used sea ice to evade, keeping control without full power reveal. He cracked the mind attack and crushed the fox throat in an instant. No reaction time. Fei Fei warned from behind as undead danger closed in on Yangshi. Yangshi used the fox demon as a shield to block the undead strike, ruthless but efficient. The fox demon dider ability was seized, instantly tipping the scales. The system confirmed rank enchanting fox ability. These were real hitters. Elsewhere, Xiaorong was pressed by the deep sea overlord, forced into a lethal duel. She blitzed behind him, sending him into a panic call for backup. The giant kelp beast sprung a trap. Purple kelp flooded in, leaving no room to dodge. Xiaorong was bound and suspended. The situation turned critical. Branch charged in, slashing kelp to save her, accepting a hard counter head-in. Fei Fei froze all the kelp. No teammate could be stalled another second. The kelp core froze and shattered. The pirates' offense was fully stopped for the first time. From afar, someone watched through binoculars, proof this battle was also a covert probe. Necromancer Fanbu roared in fury, locking Yangshi as his kill target. He summoned 2 Shrank-Bone Colossus apes. Boosting seconds were enough to crush him. Yangshi replied calmly he wanted to personally test the so-called Shrank ceiling. The Colossi smashed the sea, detonating water and kicking off a lethal cross-rank brawl. A flexible tail counterstruck suddenly, forcing Yangshi to switch tactics on the fly. Spotting the tail as the key, Yangshi activated his gauntlets and focused on cracking defense. Both Shrank-Bone Colossi fell in rapid succession. The tide flipped instantly. Yangshi mocked them, trampling the Necromancer's arrogance into the sea. Enraged, Fanbu unleashed true Shrank power to finish Yangshi. A green array spread across the water, a dangerous summoning ritual nearing completion. A colossal dragon skeleton emerged, spewing death dragon breath that shook the battlefield. Yangshi thrilled. This was a rare chance to fight an overrank summon. Dragon breath blasted toward him. Yangshi dodged and closed in under extreme pressure. He vaulted skyward with movement skills, diving at the dragon skull from above. A golden-lit punch aimed straight at the skull, intent to end the summon. Countered hard, Yangshi raised a golden shield to block the breath, forcing the advance. Under crushing pressure, he grabbed the dragon's jaws, dragging the fight into kill range. The mage panicked and rushed in, still arrogantly believing he held control. Yangshi pointed at the mage, choosing to ignore the summon and strike the source. Fanbu realized too late he was the real target. Yangshi pierced the mage's heart from behind, ending in Shrank in sheer disbelief. Mage and dragon skeleton plunged into the sea. Summoned power vanished completely. With their leader dead, the pirates fled in panic. The battle officially ended. Yangshi folded his arms midair, gaze freezing as he spotted a new clue. Seeing a stranger swim unnaturally fast, he sent a clone to tail the risky mission. Tracking underwater, Yangshi saw the target wasn't fleeing but heading to a secret destination. To avoid exposure, he hid underwater and watched the man slip into a covert shore tunnel. Confirming it as a falling star lair, Yangshi knew he'd found the real danger nest. Inside the cave, Lucky went berserk. Shrank Ba Nu had lost to a local R-rank. Worse news followed. Falling Star's main force was wiped out, plunging the base into chaos. Lucky forced silence and chose to hide for revenge. Leaderless, he seized control. When underlings demanded loot and escape, Lucky brutally killed to suppress rebellion. He used corpses as threats and promises of gain to force obedience. Afraid and greedy, the pirates quickly cheered and human nature laid bare. One pirate dragged a girl for amusement, showing inevitable rot under evil power. Witnessing it, Yangshi knew delay meant tragedy. He flicked stones with precision, dropping all pirates in an instant. Lucky returned to corpses everywhere. Too late, the board had flipped. Desperate, Lucky silenced survivors himself, madness fully exposed. Knowing he couldn't win, he knelt to beg, peddling fake loyalty for his life. Scheme still in his eyes, Lucky was stabbed through the heart by Yangshi. Plots erased. Yangshi ended him coldly. Traitors like that only breed future disasters. Afterward, Yangshi looted a battle armor, realizing Shrank power had clear limits. The armor upgraded to Liaogol Divine Flame, God-tier force, unlocking vein-breaking potential. Finding imprisoned girls, Yangshi rescued them, leaving them would haunt the aftermath. Freed with survival funds, the victims sobbed, closing the base's tragic chain. Under the night sea, Yangshi admitted Shrank wasn't enough. A higher path was needed. Shrank gilded divine demon armor manifested power, touching an entirely new threshold. Knowing deeper study was needed, Yangshi deployed clones to prep the next dangerous phase. Yangshi leapt skyward to test weapon stasis, wanting first-hand proof of the 3-day smite. Activating the divine demon armor, Yangshi took staff form and had his clone attack to test absorption limits. 5 physical punches from the clone were fully blocked, proving total absorption of bodily force. Even in Shrank, elemental strike was swallowed by the weapon, defense officially beyond standard charts. Yangshi poured everything into a counterblow, wanting one hit to gauge how scary 3-die really was. The strike tore the sea apart, forming a tsunami-like water dome, power clearly past Shrank. Yangshi admitted this was true 3-die might, terrain changing in a blink. Not stopping, he tested aerial flight control to fully sync with the new power. Golden bronze piercing vision activated, golden light blasting from his eyes through all obstacles. One glance shredded schools of fish mental and elemental damage at nightmare levels. Next morning, Yang Shai and Old Master Chu neared White Deer Island, opening a new clash. Qian revealed the Bailu alliance aimed to replace the Chuan family political danger ahead. Leader Liu and daughter Li Kaiwei personally welcomed them, polite smiles hiding schemes. Kaiwei peeked at Yang Shai and blushed had clearly entered Bailu alliance calculations. Liu lavished praise, trying to peel Yang Shi away from the Qian side. He even played matchmaker, turning Kaiwei into a political linkage chip. A grand banquet was prepared, an obvious soft trap to keep Yang Shi in place. At the feast, Yang Shi was pressured to drink for his rising fame, slipping into disadvantage. Strong liquor left him dizzy and weakened, unguarded against plots behind the scenes. Kaiwei suddenly appeared in his room, pushing things into risky ambiguity. Her intimate invitation set off alarms. None of this was coincidence. Elsewhere, Chiro opposed using Kaiwei, exposing inner rifts within Bailu alliance. Liu bluntly admitted the plot used Kaiwei to sever Yangshai from the Qian family and the Arbiters. Back in the room, Kaiwei was already asleep on his bed far beyond the original plan. Yangshi's body overheated, breath ragged, clear signs of a dangerous trap. Cold water failed. He realized both he and Kaiwei had been drugged. Half conscious, Kaiwei stumbled into the bathroom, the drug hitting hard. Knowing delay meant disaster, Yangshi made a decisive call. He knocked Kaiwei out, accepting infamy to prevent irreversible damage. Using three-dimensional force, Yangshi purged the drug and confirmed premeditated plotting. Liu and Chisho burst in, clearly waiting for this dirty plan's result. The scene left them speechless. Yangshi faced them ice-cold. Yangshi confirmed Bailu alliance had drugged them. The math just failed. Kaiwei woke and directly confronted the drugging, fury unhidden. She exposed the plan to cook the rice, turning her into a political tool. Liu lashed out in shame, using fatherly authority to silence her. Chisho stepped up to protect Kaiwei, admitting fault and ending her exploitation. With no excuses left, Liu turned and left in humiliation. Chisho solemnly kept Yangshi to talk privately, taking responsibility. Representing Bailu alliance, she bowed an apology, admitting the plan crossed the line. Chisho begged Yangshi to keep tonight's secret to preserve Kaiwei's honor. She even hoped the two might continue, turning error into reconciliation. Left alone, Yangshi sighed. One night of schemes was utterly exhausting. Kaiwei returned to thank him, her awkwardness showing genuine sincerity. Next morning at the pier, the group prepared to leave amid awkward tension. Liu suddenly turned warm again, even proposing Yangshi stay as a son-in-law. Yangshi saw through the hypocrisy, every word pure acting. Then a challenging voice rang out, forcing Duji to show himself. Swordsman Changwei appeared midair, oppressive aura shaking the crowd. Old Master Chun introduced him, signaling a dangerous showdown ahead. Qiangwei publicly accused Duji of seducing his fiancée, demanding justice before all. The crowd instantly sided with Qiangwei, pushing the Arbiter organization and Duji into a bad spot. Yangshi grew suspicious. Duji didn't dare show up, meaning something shady lurked behind. Backed by public opinion, Qiangwei grew smug, satisfied his intimidation had landed. Liu suddenly jumped in, blocking Qiangwei under the Bailu alliance banner. Liu drew his sword and attacked, turning a personal feud into a faction clash. A small dragon abruptly bound Liu's legs, plunging the scene into instant chaos. Seizing the opening, Qiangwei charged straight at Yangshi, forcing him to act personally. Yangshi's fist met Qiangwei's sword with a thunderous boom, a clash of powerhouses. He sensed his current power hitting the ceiling, forcing his retainer identity to surface. The retainer clone quietly closed in, officially representing the Arbiter organization in battle. Qiangwei grew cautious, only wanting to drag the Arbiters to meet the Azure Dragon envoy. Yangshi lost patience and provoked, directly deciding to punch him silent. He coldly declared, "Want Duji, beat me first." With one kick, Yangshi sent Qiangwei flying, speed and power leaving him stunned. Sword Q flared but failed to stop the aerial kick. Qiangwei spat blood on the spot. Yangshi used Qiangwei's body as a springboard, leaping off the sea in arrogant flair. He looked down in disdain, openly insulting Qiangwei's so-called strongman title. The entire field shook as a famed swordsman got treated like a sandbag. Liu felt deep caution. Offending the Arbiters was clearly suicidal. In the distance, the Azure Dragon envoy observed, quietly reassessing Arbiter strength. Yangshi kept taunting, forcing Qiangwei to go all out if he wanted to live. Qiangwei condensed sword light into a massive pillar, momentum piercing the clouds. A silver-haired old man suddenly appeared, casually dodging the strike by inches. He introduced himself as Ayang Changlu, polite words masking other intentions. Ayang Changlu revealed his true role, directly summoning Azure Dragon No.2 to silence Qiangwei. A colossal Azure Dragon descended from a formation, ferocious aura blowing the scene wide open. Yangshi reacted instantly, coldly stating this battlefield wasn't for outsiders to stain. Ayang feigned innocence, claiming to help the Chuan family, yet his body began dissolving. Facing the Azure Dragon's claws, Yangshi calmly appraised it. This looked fun. Qiangwei was forced to concede, planning to retreat after luring the Arbiters into the open. At the moment of retreat, an invisible creature strangled him, leaving him thrashing in despair. In resistance, Qiangwei stabbed through his own throat, dying instantly under cruel control. Xiaorong revealed it was a third hidden summon, chilling everyone to the bone. Yangshi directly accused Ayang of murdering a powerhouse, demanding legal judgment. Spotting a Greek clan ring, Yangshi confirmed Ayang was allied with dangerous outsiders. Ayang sneak attacked, commanding the Azure Dragon to strike Yangshi from behind. Annihilation golden pupils fired a golden beam, instantly shattering the Azure Dragon. Possessed and corrupted, the Azure Dragon rapidly regenerated with even scarier aura. Old Master Qian warned at rank 25 this retainer might be punching too high. Yang Sai pressed nonstop, striking until he grasped a fatal flaw in the dragon. He launched a decisive blow into its mouth, forcing it out of control and crashing into the sea. Aoyang went berserk as Azure Dragon 0.2 died, swearing vengeance at all costs. A green formation flared. Azure Dragon Stark was summoned, shocking the entire field. Stark demanded a summoning sacrifice, forcing Aoyang to pay more for power. Aoyang accepted without hesitation. Consequences be damned if Yangxi died. Stark fully manifested, sneering at Yangxi like an ant and choosing pure annihilation. Old Master Chun warned that if Yangxi fell, everyone aboard would be slaughtered. Yangxi charged first, smashing Stark's head with one staff strike, cracking dragon armor. Caught in a pincer bind, Stark realized his mistake as Yangxi coldly announced a counterattack. Stark immediately spewed azure flames, aiming to overwhelm and kill Yangxi midair. Yangxi spun the staff like a fan, blowing away all dragon flames and turning a kill move into a joke. The Rui staff stretched to the limit and smashed Stark's head, rattling him in agony. Sensing defeat, Stark begged Aoyang to cancel the summon so he could escape. Yangxi coldly blocked the retreat, declaring it too late and deciding to slay a dragon for fun. The giant staff rammed straight into Stark's mouth, shattering the final defense. Stark vanished completely, no corpse, no comeback, full stop. With Stark handled, Yangxi turned to the real target and openly provoked Aoyang. Aoyang split into countless mini-dragons, trying to fake an escape with misdirection. Yangxi grabbed the true Azure Dragon body, forcing a choice between begging and death. He exposed Aoyang as a Greek clan traitor, leaving no room for denial. Aoyang was forced back to his true form, all disguises collapsed. Yangxi choked him for answers, forcing greed powers to surface. Aoyang desperately threatened with family backing, proving all exits were gone. Aoyang Guanhe rank 5 appeared, his dangerous aura blanketing the field. Yangxi replied bluntly he was here to kill, not joke. Guanhe coldly refused to save his uncle, cutting ties on the spot. He even invited Yangxi to join him, only to be rejected for loyalty to the arbiters. Guan pressed close with pressure, testing Yangxi's resolve. Ignoring the threat, Yangxi tightened his grip, stating he had lawful cause to kill. Aoyang Changlu erupted with greed, bloodline hair turning blue, power surging. A desperate counterattack blasted Yangxi into the sea. Guanhe witnessed the truth firsthand, confirming his uncle was Greed Clan. Yangxi flashed back like lightning, one staff strike knocking Aoyang Changlu off the battlefield. He coldly declared this alone qualified as execution grounds. Aoyang Guan proposed a deal, drop the feud for defense line BO5, forcing Yangxi to accept. The retainer confirmed Yangxi passed the stellar trial, officially granting the Vermilion Moonbird seat. As retainer, Yangxi quietly watched the ships depart, knowing the four seas had shifted. Seeing the complexity ahead, he chose to expand the organization with outer members. Yangxi upgraded mind control abilities, laying groundwork for a new management system. Enshrank Soul contract activated, enabling mental imprints and indirect authority control. He chose masts as contract vessels, opening access to the Cloud Palace. 9 heavenly stem masts appeared, ready to spread arbiter power across the four seas. With spare energy left, Yangxi risked upgrading Superbrain to Strength. Strength Superbrain Tier 3 unlocked 4 mental skills, pushing mind control into nightmare territory. Testing the 7th sense, Yangxi directly manifested consciousness into a new entity. A female mental body formed unexpected, leaving him both baffled and alert. The new entity recognized him as master, showing absolute dependence from Superbrain. Yangxi established himself as leader, beginning long-term organizational construction. The Four Symbols Hall was assigned to govern the four seas, forming Arbiter's core power frame. The female entity chose the Vermilion Bird Judge role, willingly staying by the leader. Wearing the Vermilion Bird mask, she became a spiritual pillar of the organization. Yangxi handed her foreign affairs authority, signaling total trust. Back in reality, Fei Fei called Yangxi to join the sea sacrifice ritual before departure. Li Yu and Le Kaiwei appeared to see them off, continuing to cozy up to the Chuan family. Li Yu publicly proposed Kaiwei join the voyage for training, cornering Yangxi. Yangxi accepted the handshake, letting Kaiwei board under everyone's gaze. A week later, Yangxi followed Old Master Qian to Panhai Island, ready to open a new game. He believed the moment for the arbiters to reveal themselves to the four seas had come. As the ship docked, the Qian clan erupted, revival officially beginning. Seeking family revival, Old Master Qian rallied all, betting the future on deep cooperation with the arbiters. Yangxi leaks that a bigwig is heading to Panhai, forcing the Qian family to join or be left eating dust. Learning the bigwig outranks judges and controls ability potions, Mr. Qian knows this chance is non-negotiable. To expand influence, the organization orders the Qian family to prep media, turning power into public bait. Yangxi confidently names the plan Heavenly Plow, trusting power and desire to self-recruit. At Silver Tiger site, the mission system drops, split into 3 types to lock people into the machine. Normal missions send the weak to hunt beasts for resources, survive or die trying. Loot converts to points, turning bloody sweat into tidy mind control rewards. Secret missions like assassination stay vague, trapping participants past the point of return. Bird masks hide identities until missions start, when truth punches wearers in the face. Yangxi targets the mask to market ability potions, since fear and hope spread fastest. With timing ripe, the first tool is about to appear, opening a pre-designed exploitation spiral. On stormy Sugar Island, a teen hits rock bottom with only tears and helplessness. To save his imprisoned sister, he forces himself to get stronger, despite no visible exit. Amid thunder, a mask appears uninvited, an offer you can't refuse. Teleported to nowhere, he panics, thinking he's dead, with no road back. Yangshi shows up, bluntly naming him the first worker, handing his fate to the organization. Has sworn to mask secrecy, as anonymity is the organization's safety chain. With no ability, he fears elimination here. The weak are consumables. The fix borrow points for an ability potion, turning hope into lethal debt. Yangshi approves the loan system to shove rookies onto battlefields ASAP. A lucky wheel spins, making him feel chosen though it's pure stagecraft. He hits a brank missed ability, buying life while owing blood as interest. Kicked back to reality to await rewards. He doesn't know each next step is deadlier. Beaten to despair, he still downs the potion, his only escape hatch. A sudden noise alerts the fat man, who knows cornered prey is lethal. He kicks the door, threatening, assuming cheap tricks, and aiming to crush resistance early. With fresh power, the teen blocks the kick and forces info on his sister, flipping the script. Bottled rage explodes as he stomps the man's gut, venting years of ruin. No hesitation, he torches the farm, burning the exploited past with no return ticket. Reunited with his sister, urged to flee, he stays, this time no running. A human trafficker blocks them, claiming ownership and pushing danger front and center. The man strangles him, trying to kill rebellion in the cradle. The teen counters fast, flooring him and proving the power is real. The crowd panics, linking the masked figure to the mysterious Arbiter organization. Watching afar, Yangshi smiles, the first tool delivered perfect ad effects. Elsewhere, a commander berates subordinates for failure, showing factions colliding hard. With bloodred eyes, he crushes excuses, asserting the primal organization's absolute rule. He swaps managers and rushes plans to flaunt the Greed clan's might. Hearing the Arbiter's press conference looms, he senses a dangerous rival to watch. Relaxed yet scheming, Yangshi plans to use Arthur to probe the mysterious ancient castle. Controlled, Arthur bows instantly, proving he's just a chess piece. Through Arthur, Yangshi learns about the Green family and notes this party is stacked. Arthur reports no castle intel yet, but vows to find it. Defying the leader is impossible. Awkwardly role-playing Arthur, Yangshi kisses Victoria's forehead to avoid exposure. Probing Chris' mental power, Yangshi finds him stronger than expected, no underestimating. He withdraws on cue, telling Arthur to watch the elder brother and avoid spooking snakes. Back at White Deer's site, Yangshi hears the press conference is imminent and knows the moment's ripe. Before taking the stage, he declares the 4 Cs won't stop the Arbiter's rise. Yangshi appears publicly, officially opening the press conference and bringing the Arbiter into daylight. Below the stage, Jin sweats bullets, knowing this conference will shake the 4 Cs. Juju appears midair, instantly stealing all attention and proving the Arbiter has absolute backing. Yangshi bows respectfully, signaling to all factions that his status is anything but low. Juju hands over an upgrade potion on the spot, turning the press conference into a live power flex. Yangshi downs the potion publicly, since only real action kills doubt. His aura mutates violently, confirming the ability potion isn't marketing fluff. The system announces and shrank Navy Plum Art ability, with combat power beyond crowd imagination. Yangshi bluntly exposes humanity's dire situation, forcing listeners to face harsh reality. Riding the momentum, he unveils the Heavenly Plow plan, dangling survival as irresistible bait. Announcing only 36 Heavenly Plow slots in the 4 Cs ignites greedy stares across the stands. The pitch ends cleanly, but the psychological aftershock just begins spreading. Ability potions in the Heavenly Plow plan rocket up search rankings, proving media detonation. Yangshi reveals the final Heavenly Plow mask, crowning it a public symbol of power. He openly issues a challenge, turning rewards into an on-site power contest. Facing youth skepticism, Yangshi offers a brank ability potion as reassurance. Terms are clear, winners flip their fate, losers watch from the sidelines. Dan Taijiao strides forward confidently, aiming to secure Merchant Guild prestige with victory. 6 swords launch together, opening a fight that freezes the audience breathless. Yangshi pinches a blade tip with 2 fingers, flaunting post-upgrade dominance. Dan Taijiao realizes in horror Yangshi has blown past his old 4 Cs ranking. Standing atop his opponent's sword, Yangshi declares the outcome settled, crushing morale. Jading steps up, unwilling to concede, wielding lightning to reclaim senior pride. His Shrank lightning strike explodes, stunning spectators with its force. Yangshi blocks it one-handed, quietly noting he still needs further upgrades. His power surges again, signaling an incoming one-sided climax. Jining finally sees Yangshi with sandbagging, but regret comes too late. Yangshi brutally snaps Jining's arm, ending the boast with real pain. Done with him, Yangshi calls Jelen to fight, pushing the clash into Major faction territory. Jelen accepts with a calm smile, promising to help Weijulia win, clearly valuing the prize. Sensing Gelen's mental power exceeds level 3, Yangshi switches tactics to plant an ability orb tracker. He rushes in recklessly, punching not to win but to stuff the orb into Jelen. They brawl from sky to ground, yet Gelen dodges deliberately without counterattacking. A sudden kick exposes a disguised foreign object, proving Jelen hid something. The disguise drops, leaving Gelen helpless as his secret is exposed to all. Yangshi exploits the opening to successfully embed the ability orb into Jelen. He keeps pressuring mentally and physically, denying Gelen any counterplay. Yangshi feigns defeat smoothly, mixing flattery and restraint to force Jelen's acceptance. He tosses out an ability potion as reward, turning loss into an unrefusable deal. Weijulia drinks it without hesitation, becoming living proof of Arbiter products. Power surges as she takes flight, smashing remaining doubts instantly. The crowd is shaken, now weighing ability potions as a real path to rebirth. Yangshi seizes the moment, hyping the Heavenly Chief Mask battle as the next focus. He calls Nai Xiaoquan onto the stage, dragging a veteran powerhouse into public trial. Nai Xiaoquan appears confidently, convinced the mask is his today. Yangxi quickly senses something off about the newcomer, instincts screaming warning. Observation reveals a puppet, confirming hidden forces meddling in the conference. Nai Xiaoquan strikes first, aiming to overwhelm and end it fast. The puppet shrugs it off and draws more weapons, proving this fight is no joke. The puppet goes berserk, mutating grotesquely as it prepares to reveal true power. It vanishes in a blink, reappears behind him, and lands a fatal punch that makes Xiaoquan vomit blood. Nai Xiaoquan finally realizes his foe is a greed aberration, but by now it's beyond control. The tidal greed aberration detonates the stands, as the crowd panics and flees what they were never meant to see. The aberration charges straight at Zhu Kuo, clearly targeting the highest arbiter. At the critical moment, a bodyguard intercepts, showing absolute protective reflex. With one hand, he swats the aberration hundreds of meters away, exposing brutal power disparity. He hurls a long staff through its body, forcing the monster to reveal terrifying reconstruction ability. The aberration breaks apart and reforms into a giant hand, gripping the guard and glowing for a suicidal counter. Jima steps out to taunt Zhu Kuai, dragging her into the Dream Belly realm to flip the board. Darkness engulfs Zhu Kuai, pulling her into a mental world under enemy control. A skull presses close, but Zhu Kuai erupts with blinding light, proving her will isn't crushable. She falls through layered dream realms, each crafted to grind sanity to dust. Jima smugly believes no one escapes the Dream Belly realm, claiming victory early. Zhu Kuai strikes back, incinerating dream monsters and showing this isn't her limit. In the Ice Realm, she calmly shatters the Frost Awake, denying every prediction. With a single wave, Zhu Kuai obliterates all dream realms, making Jima realize he met a monster. Fully suppressed, Jima is forced to confess his true name, Manhwa, before the Supreme Judge. Zhu Kuai delivers judgment without hesitation, punishing arrogance with authority. Seeing exposure, the greed aberration bolts, choosing survival over mission. Kilidi Gilin blocks its escape, sealing it with crimson power. Yangxi snatches the aberration's heart before Gilin, swift and decisive, forcing concession. Yangxi notes Gilin's overreaction, further confirming hidden secrets. He immediately activates the ability exploitation system, intent on milking the deadly loot. Enshrank Greed Bloodline ability is extracted, revealing control and dream manipulation powers. With matters settled, Zhu Kuai departs cleanly, leaving behind absolute authority. The Heavenly Chief mask goes to Nai Xiaoquan, ending the press conference with a twist. Back in the hall, Yangxi checks Heavenly Plo progress scale is everything. Reports show masks spread across all 4 seas, proving Arbiter's network is real. Yangxi adopts controlled tolerance, as long as targets keep producing value. The hall upgrades the Void Cube to S rank, unlocking a brand new power tier. The SS Void Cube enables spatial transport, but with lethal restrictions. Yangxi quickly realizes all life entering the Void dies, making it a double-edged knife. Tests confirm the Void spin functions as both spatial offense and defense. Yangxi plans the Boar Chariot armor, turning SS power into real combat force. New intel reveals the Hero Association hunts otherworlders for something called Thought, hinting danger. Contact with the Greed clan shows otherworlds aren't unified, risks multiply. Learning Fei Fei's group arrived, Yangxi rages at the delay, proving their importance. Talks clarify potion prices are brutal, forcing members to risk lives for points. Fei Fei points out intel and assassination missions are safer, opening paths for rookies. Yangxi proposes point loans outright, turning welfare into loyalty chains. Confirming Usino Pay Later, core members' trust ignites instantly. In Yangxi's calculus, stronger members mean faster resource harvest. On Banana Island, Yangxi finds primal seeds in river water, matching Fei Fei's dream vision. He suspects the Greed clan is quietly seeding influence into vital water sources. Yangxi traces the river's source, knowing all plots start at the root. Surveys confirm no mutation level concentration, yet proof the enemy is still testing. Yangxi decides to build a secret base on Jisong Mountain for long-term monitoring. Guard missions are assigned, marking Arbiter's strategic occupation. At Frontline BO5, Yangxi personally holds the line to avoid identity exposure. He sweats internally, too many key identities are himself, no deep questioning allowed. Yangxi pushes Bulanchi, Fei Fei, and Xiaorong forward, using Shrank Force to reassure others. Libang voices blunt suspicion, insisting S20 rank can't be accepted on words alone. The Flame Gladiator proposes a straight duel, since only fists earn belief on the battlefield. Yangxi ups the ante with rewards, allowing anyone to challenge Branch to prove the organization's strength. The Flame Gladiator arrogantly picks Branch, even advising her to surrender to avoid injury. He fires diamond rings like saw blades, aiming to crush her with ability advantage from the start. Branch replies coldly, threats mean nothing to someone used to walking past death. She charges straight through the diamond rings, one slash shattering all defense and stunning him. The Flame Gladiator hastily raises a massive diamond shield, barely clinging to life. The blade grazes his face, panic hitting as he realizes half a beat slower meant death. Seeing Branch's power, Libang instantly changes tune and ends the challenge to save face. Yangxi notes quietly, in this world, the final word always comes from fists. Elsewhere beneath the sea, Anastas hunts aberrant beasts, plotting to trade otherworlders for points. She looks down on humans, believing beasts would be extinct without otherworld command. Anastas schemes to exploit Martin to break ranks, exposing ambition from O to Z. A demon dragon appears suddenly, forcing Anastas to flee to avoid detection. A green arrow reverses midair, piercing the demon dragon and proving superior otherworld combat tech. She triggers growth, binding the dragon with plants before retreating calmly. Yangxi monitors it all, confirming otherworlders are more dangerous than expected. He realizes humans lag far behind in both ability exploitation and combat thinking. He presses for heavenly plow updates. The masks are the future balance key. Reports show one mask fell into the Aiyang family's hands, complicating the board. The Aiyang Patriarch gives the mask to Jingju, warning against direct provocation of Arbiter. The mask reaches Aiyang Shan, preparing for cautious ability potion testing. The Ironblood army intervenes, assigning Tian Yang to handle the Arbiter organization. At the Hero Association, elites see otherworlders encroaching, forcing humanity to seek new paths. Tong Tian suggests ability potions could replace meditation, hinting at a risky shortcut to power. Doubts rise over whether potions truly create peers or just dangerous acceleration. Shi Guang indifferently hands tasks to Yu Bei, showing internal acceptance of risky choices. Yang Xi observes silently, realizing Sage's otherworld methods, and potions all must enter his plan. Aiyang Lang boasts switching to the Azure Dragon Envoy ability, tied directly to family bloodline. Juque appears quietly, yet pressure alone suppresses everyone instantly. She announces Aiyang Lang will use an ability potion, no hesitation allowed. Aiyang Lang drinks it all, betting his life to test a new power path. He successfully summons the Azure Dragon, proving potions awaken bloodline origins. Yang Xuan worries potions rely on killing beasts, imposing a moral price on power. Juque coldly explains it's called an ability factor, not alchemy. The twist Juque is Yangshi in disguise, intrigued by Yangshan's reaction. Yangshi grants his clone an S-rank plasma ability, prepping for major upheaval. He detects Creed's strength power flaring near Banana Island, danger he can't ignore. At the Green Family Council, Creed gathers all to launch a second wave of Tier 3 power creation. Crit rallies sacrifice for strength, turning selfish ambition into group doctrine. Yangshi mocks via puppet, seeing noble words as a cover for betraying humanity. A child openly defies Creed, refusing to become a monster and demanding to go home. Crit drags the child away, using violence to crush resistance and keep control. He strangles the child before all, forcing the council into submission. Arthur and the rest tremble and pledge support, choosing survival through complicity. Satisfied, Crit orders advance to Banana Island, officially starting the harvest. Naipong is controlled by Creed, realizing he has an obstacle to be removed. A truck driver with a mutated body keeps walking, signaling monster experiments released. Naipong realizes in horror the virus has spread on Banana Island. The disaster begins. Crit sneers, revealing only 3 teleporting greed aberrations were released, confident nothing can stop him. He calmly says Banana Island residents have drunk primal seed water for months, making Naipong break into cold sweat. Hundreds of thousands became nutrients, enough to boost 3 aberrations to Tier 3 at insane speed. Outside, an aberration kills the truck driver and absorbs emerald energy, proving the disaster has launched. Watching through the Arthur puppet, Yangshi knows Banana Island is doomed without intervention. Naipong furiously questions Creed's humanity, refusing to sacrifice an entire island for Tier 3 power. Past his limit, Naipong snaps his restraints and charges in, ready to pay any price to stop it. He attacks Crit head-on, forcing Creed to evade as open conflict erupts. Green NC pierces Naipong's arm, shredding muscle and crippling his combat ability with pain. 3 more strikes nearly sever his tendons, dropping Naipong into total helplessness. Crit coldly declares Naipong's limb links severed, reducing him to waiting nutrition. He leaves Naipong to Byron and departs, confident the Atar martial artist is finished. Yangshi, inside Arthur, decides to save Naipong and prepares to restore injuries and mental links. Arthur deliberately suggests tying Naipong up, masking rescue intent with fake cooperation. Smiling like a loyal lackey, Arthur binds Naipong, fully lowering Byron's guard. Yangshi mockingly calls Naipong nutrient, staying in villain mode to hide the rescue. While pretending to bind him, Arthur secretly restores severed vessels, setting up a counter. Byron suddenly collapses dead, flipping the situation into instant chaos. Gilin arrives, shocked to see Byron down and suspects Naipong has recovered. Naipong ambushes, but Gilin splits into shadows to dodge, revealing deadly dark abilities. Gilin senses Juque's mental aura and realizes Arthur was controlled by Arbiter all along. He lunges straight for Arthur, aiming to kill and claim major credit. Yangshi counters with threats, gripping Gilin psychologically, using his brother's life to stall. Juque appears in time, shattering Gilin's killing blow and saving Arthur by a hair. Naipong withdraws to support outside, leaving Juque to contain the spreading disaster. Yangshi has Arthur condense golden light to block a sneak attack, still forced to tank it head-on. Gilin laughs cruelly, revealing Naipong was bait. Arthur was the real target. On Banana Island, another greed aberration rampages through civilians in a shopping district. Civilian Candy livestreams a plea for help, exposing monster slaughter before tens of thousands. The stream captures a lone cowboy facing the monster, views exploding instantly. Ferrero fires desperately to buy time for martial artists, knowing survival odds are slim. Bullets do nothing as the monster charges, proving power far beyond normal humans. Steel fangs fill the camera as the stream cuts with a scream, witnessed by tens of thousands. At the death moment, the monster is blasted away. Kenny realizes he survived by inches. Yangshi appears as T-Shi, erasing the aberration with violet power and saving civilians. The system records and shrank mutated greed bloodline ability with Berserk and absorption teleport. Yangshi senses links to greed spirit entities, realizing matters are messier than expected. He decides to later use Kianbukui as a test subject, shelving the ability for now. Kenny clings to Yangshi, begging to follow the only savior in the catastrophe. Amid the battlefield, an authoritative voice declares judgment upon Creed Green. Juque manifests midair, accusing Creed of greed crimes without room for denial. Lightning descends to punish Creed, forcing him to abandon this body to save his core. Jukui departs, leaving Creed collapsed in fear and belated regret. Creed clutches Arthur, crying brother, torn between loss and hatred. Elsewhere, Naipong appears midair, unleashing a full-force punch at a rampaging aberration. The monster is smashed into the ground, earth shattering under the eight-armed martial artist's might. Knowing time is short, Naipong chooses a suicidal finisher. He becomes a living blade, piercing the monster's chest and killing it to roaring cheers. Immediately after, a blue beam strikes Naipong's forehead, a lethal counterattack. Creed drags Naipong's corpse, sneering at weakness to seal his cruel victory. The monster opens its maw, condensing countless energy orbs, revealing its final power before Creed finishes it. Khalidi mocks Naipong as useless and decides to absorb him directly to save healing effort. Blue energy streams pierce the monster's head, signaling Khalidi has finished absorbing the power. Feeling his energy surge, Khalidi confidently measures himself against the Arbiter commander. Yang Shi appears behind Khalidi as Tishi, planning to test his new power on him. Yang Si deliberately waits for digestion to finish. Beating the Tuik would be pointless. Khalidi suppresses rage, draws an energy blade, and vows to chop Yang Shi into three for show. Yang Si doesn't dodge the frontal strike, tricking Khalidi into thinking he has the edge. In an instant, Yang Shi turns into shadow and vanishes, terrifying Khalidi with the bait. Khalidi is suddenly surrounded by blue energy arrows as the tide flips instantly. Yang Si rains lightning, forcing Khalidi into pure defense and time-wasting. Yang Si realizes smart ability use can let the weak beat the strong. Hit by surprise, Khalidi faces multiple Zodiac and Four Symbols threats and is forced to flee. Yang Shi and Jukui regroup, realizing Khalidi escaped despite mental lockdown. Jukui explains he paid dearly, vomiting massive primal seeds to break free. After Banana Island, Jukui reports Arbiter's fame now shakes all four seas. Yang Si decides to return to Deer Harbor, trusting Chuan Duo to handle fake ability waves. Back in Deer Harbor, Yang Shi breathes familiar air and prepares a power upgrade. His metal control ability officially upgrades to SS after massive energy absorption. The system announces SS3 Divine Metal Creation, boasting terrifying range and might. Cries for help erupt, signaling a new disaster crashing into the city. And Shrank Dark Knight Demon Tiger smashes skyscrapers, threatening civilians. Yang Si secretly saves falling people with metal, hiding his identity. A wandering swordsman and Liao Yuan arrive and charge the beast. Using Liao Yuan's opening, the swordsman slashes straight at the tiger. Just before impact, the tiger tail whips, smashing him into a wall in a blink. At the death moment, an arrow pierces the beast's eye, dropping it screaming. A blue-haired girl fires calmly, proving it wasn't blind luck. Yang Shi notes her ability already hit Shrank, jumping 2 tiers fast. Streams confirm 0 casualties and suspect a hidden metal master intervened. Viewers explode, chanting Big Shot UG, convinced the legend returned. The tiger triggers Dark Knight overpressure, plunging the battlefield into nightmare darkness. Zetian steadies herself, draws her bow, and bets on another killing shot. Command worries as darkness helps the beast dodge, slashing hit chances. Liao Yuan risks death to lock the tiger's hind legs, opening the decisive window. The second arrow pierces the other eye, the tiger howling in agony. The beast thrashes back, crushing Liao Yuan toward death. A timely shout cuts through Liao Yuan's despair. A metal mass slams down from the sky, one-shotting the tiger. Yang Shi appears as Yuji, hovering before the unconscious beast to end the disaster. He briefly praises Zetian, acknowledges her strength, and leaves without nostalgia. Yang Shi rescues Naishu publicly, claiming boyfriend status and silencing critics. The pair leave amid stunned silence, sweetness clashing with the recent horror. Naishu asks how long he'll stay, her worry showing how much she treasures his return. Another Yang Sai clone watches from afar, deciding to stay and protect her. Liao Yuan meets Yang Shi again and is bluntly asked if hell followed a West Sea. Yang Shi states West Sea is where elites survive, forcing a major choice. He transfers part of his quota to help Liao Yuan swap to Enshrank ability. Yang Shi demands Liao Yuan's decision, making him choose his future power path. Liao Yuan instantly picks Shrank Werewolf bloodline, committing to focus strength. Yang Shi praises him and reminds him of an old promise, leaving Liao Yuan nervously awaiting true recognition. He hands Liao Yuan the stellar mask Kui Mulang, granting power while keeping a father-son distance. Liao Yuan darkly realizes only full control of Arbiter earns true acknowledgement. He vows confidently the day isn't far, determined to climb power's peak by strength alone. Yang Sai assigns the West Sea conquest, throwing Liao Yuan onto the front line to be forged by life and death. Wearing the mask alone, Liao Yuan declares his real campaign has officially begun. He thrills at the thought that Arbiter will someday belong to their father-son duo. Yang Shi appears before Ye Fan, whose body reacts instantly as he kneels to greet the leader. Yang Sai probes the ability summit results and war invites, quietly appraising Ye Fan's worth. Yang Shi turns attention to Li Zetian, tracing the threads around the girl. Ye Fan reveals Zetian's habit of deep meditation, instantly triggering Yang Shi's alarm. Yang Shi decides to investigate Zetian personally. Abnormal leveling can't be ignored. Zetian meditates in the forest, absorbing dense black ki, a scene screaming extreme danger. Observing Yang Shi confirms it's a meditation art, the reason she hit Shrank so fast. Exposed, Yang Shi appears to propose a deal, claiming no malice but hiding no goal. He offers lifelong protection and a path to SS in exchange for a leveling secret. Zetian doubts his motives, unconvinced Arbiter acts purely for humanity. She finally admits the demon-splitting meditation only fits her ability and can't be misused. Yang Shi tested himself, finding low personal gain but massive strategic value. He calculates fast copy the ability and mass-produce rapid power growth. Yang Shi gives Ztian the stellar mask Zhang Yulu, securing Jukuai's protection. He explains using ability factors to brew solutions, turning solo meditation into group power. Collection proceeds lightning fast, proving everything was already planned. Yang Shi realizes energy activity and demonic force share the same essence, just different labels. In the Four Seas, Yang Xi leads Liao Yuan atop the frontline island, opening a new conquest era. He lifts Liao Yuan into the air, calming him before the formal Arbiter debut. At frontline BO6, the clone Bu Wu welcomes them grandly, confirming Yang Shi's UG identity. Yang Shi introduces Kui Mu Lang, subtly entrusting Liao Yuan to Bu Wu. Nervous but firm, Liao Yuan introduces himself, stepping into Arbiter's power core. Yang Xi reassures him that all arrangements were pre-planned with Bai Yi Wu. Liao Yuan overthinks, believing he has the key chess piece to reclaim control. He boldly claims he'll help Yuji's faction retake the board, baffling Yang Shi. Yang Xi ignores the misunderstanding and meets Elder Qian to discuss strategy. He proposes a major cultivation experiment, instantly hooking Elder Qian's interest. Mentioning meditation arts, Yang Shi shocks Elder Qian this is elite territory. Yang Shi reveals demon-splitting meditation can let ordinary people cultivate abilities. He outlines combining it with ability potions, stirring Elder Qian deeply. Yang Shi asks for 100 tough volunteers as the first test batch, risks included. They agree to run trials on Banana Island after 1 week. Jukuai reports research confirming the bird-shooting visualization can absorb and convert dark energy. Demon energy is systematized, boosting abilities while safely dispersing residue. Yang Xi sees visualization art as irreplaceable and decides to paint a new version himself. He suggests sending test subjects to Cloud Apex to grasp visualization directly. A new visualization painting floats forth, golden light shaking every tester. Yang Shi names the new group the Demon Split Squad, completing the cultivation system. Days later at Cliffside, Demon Dragon begins accepting applicants for ability factor extraction. The arrival of Ayang Shan and Guang Wen wearing Heavenly Chief masks shocks the crowd. Yang Shi arrives on cue, announcing the start and drawing all eyes. Yang Shi directly extracts ability factors from Demon Dragon, giving no room to resist. The process ends in a blink, leaving Demon Dragon and spectators stunned. With collection done, Yang Shi closes the task prep phase complete. The big game begins. The crowd scatters, leaving Guang Wen stunned and Ayang Shan collapsed, ditched from the power bargain. Yang Shi bluntly refuses to share ability factors. Core tech leaks mean instant disadvantage. Ayang Shan gambles with secret intel as currency, forcing Yang Shi to weigh long-term gains. Yang Shi probes his real motive, knowing such knowledge only matters when fueling ambition. Ayang Shan flips the card top powerhouses walk their own Dao, and he needs data to find his. Yang Shi gets it, his target isn't quick power, but the groundwork for future breakthroughs. Yang Shi reveals the Fierce Demon Meditation Method experiment, opening a little-known path for Ayang Shan. A tacit deal is struck for mutual profit. They leave to talk deeper, abandoning the extras. Guang Wen is left on the cliff, worthless for trade, tasting despair for the first time. Scene shifts to Shangtiao Island as Qian Wei Chen wakes up, kicking off a dangerous experiment branch. Yang Chuyu claims ties to Yang, accidentally painting a target on his own back. The two joke about identities, unaware their casual words poke Yangshi's pride. Invisible pressure hits both, feel watching eyes welcome to the attention list. Wei Chen panics, realizing Yang Xi heard everything. Distance can't stop mental power. Yang Xi openly recruits powerhouses, baiting the crowd with raw desire for strength. He unleashes a mental shockwave, choosing the cruelest way to cull the weak. Wei Chen tries to save Chu Wu but fails. The gap is huge and both pass out cold. The last holder falls, proving this test offers zero mercy or retreat. Yang Xi keeps only 18 who lasted longest, the endurance limit he needs for experiments. Next day, survivors are congratulated and officially enter the talent verdict enlightenment peak. Yang Xi announces the Fierce Demon Meditation Method, aiming to turn cultivation into active ability manufacturing. He splits experimental groups, forcing risky choices. Only extreme data is worth anything. Under mental control, Chu Yu and Wei Chen step up, choosing danger for humanity's future. Yang Xi sees scale is needed, making expansion into occupied continents inevitable. As he thinks of the southern continent, war erupts, dragging him straight into live combat. On the open sea, massive aberrant beasts swarm, signaling an unavoidable purge. Yang Xi commands the sortie himself. Only life and death pressure forges usable teams. An ability user counters a ferocious rock beast, proving the front line still holds. Yang Xi watches from outside, selecting the right beast for longer-term plans. Ambushed and dragged underwater, Yang Xi is forced to join the fight personally. Before him looms a giant blue crocodile, strong enough to host the next plan. Spotting its value, Yang Xi locks on and decides to requisition it. In the deep sea, Anicetus roams freely, accidentally stepping onto Yang Xi's chessboard. Yang Xi changes plans. Anicetus is more valuable, perfect as a puppet to infiltrate the southern continent. He activates an S-rank puppet control ability, demanding absolute loyalty for long-term schemes. As the power triggers, Anicetus' consciousness shakes. Control is being stolen. Yang Xi invades her memories, swiftly locking fragments tied to meditation methods. Memories shatter and a counterseal triggers, warning Yang Xi this is no ordinary target. Anicetus' core will self-immolates to protect secrets. Yang Xi barely retreats in time. Possessing Anicetus' body, Yang Xi leaves the battlefield, quietly parting from his team to go further. On Qiang Island, skull-strewn ruins show how brutal the otherworld occupation is. As Anna said, as Yang Xi settles missions at the mercenary guild to legitimize his movements. Receiving the Martin Cup of Dark Energy, he notes the resources but lacks extraction methods. Sensing a sage presence, Yangtze leaves immediately. The real goal isn't the bounty. Seeing aberrant beasts obey, he realizes war might end without fighting if the mechanism is mastered. Cave mechanisms activate, symbols merge, guiding him straight to the secret core. Demengdashi appears, proving Yangtze has touched a sage-level legacy. Yangtze reveals his identity as a Weylan star human, claiming this miracle for his own race. Demengdashi acknowledges Yangtze's worth, opening a trial to witness planar miracles. Demengdashi's wooden box opens, light erupts, the true sage stone finally revealed. Demeng explains the sage stone is alive, teleporting nonstop and obeying zero rules. Yangtze touches the stone, but his hand passes through clearly, has not qualified yet. Daimeng suspects the sage stone rejected Yangtze, instantly making things dangerous. Sensing intruders, Yangtze orders Demeng to hide before secrets leak. With no time to explain, Yangtze forcibly seals Demeng and faces the outside threat alone. Disguised as Anastas, Yangtze meets Ji Duran, a noble-blood simp obsessed with her. Snubbed coldly, Ji Duran snaps, exposing his plan to seize Anastas by power. He brings subordinates and applies brute force, turning the meeting into a death threat. Anastas strikes back hard, firing withering arrows to prove she won't submit. Ji Duran's dragon flames incinerate everything, magma flooding in to seal all exits. Anastas jumps into the lava, choosing death over submission, stunning everyone. Only Ji Duran returns, convinced Anastas is dead, anger turning into disdain. Twist reveal: this Ji Duran is actually Yangtze in disguise. A mysterious assassin appears to mock him, instantly escalating the situation. Shuangren shows himself, carrying a blood feud with the Ji family and demanding payback. The assassin vanishes in a blink, launching an ambush with zero warning. Yangtze dodges the kill strike, making Shuangren realize this foe is no small fry. Shuangren spots the sage stone, greed igniting as he decides to wipe everyone out. Subordinates stay behind to block enemies, knowing retreat is the only way to save the young master. Yangtze coldly realizes this world has no good or evil, only strong and weak. Shuangren claims the sage stone, convinced it's already his prize. The stone slips through Shuangren's hand, proving his also unrecognized. Using the young master identity, Yangtze orders combat, deliberately pushing chaos higher. Seizing the moment, Yangtze unleashes blazing red dragon breath. Battle goes Alan. Shuangren senses the dragon breath closing in and retreats to avoid being roasted alive. The sage stone starts absorbing overflowing purple energy, clearly intervening on its own. The sage stone fires sky-piercing light, punching through mountains to lure more powerhouses. It excitedly invites more human elites. Death and slaughter are its nourishment. Aerial powerhouses rush over, confirming a supreme treasure has emerged. The sage stone threatens Yangtze, forcing cooperation or exposing his true identity. Yangtze sees through it. The sage stone is actually an ability-bearing avatar of Aoyang. Its goal is obvious: stir chaos and harvest life and death energy. Yangtze goes with the flow. Bigger chaos only benefits his plan. Hearing a tier 4 powerhouse is coming, Shuangren considers retreat but leaves threats behind. Before escaping far, has slammed down by the sage stone's energy, turned into a forced chess piece. The sage stone directly empowers Shuangren, making him a fresh experiment. Shuangren gains infinite regeneration and instantly declares himself immortal. Drunk on power, he announces today is the death day of Du Lan. Yangtze's blade indirectly controls lightning birds, chaining electricity around Shuangren. Shuangren notices green energy converging overhead, too late to dodge. The White Serpent Sword Master appears personally, upgrading the battlefield instantly. Yangtze, as the nephew, accuses Shuangren, cleverly pulling the White Serpent to his side. The White Serpent openly shields Du Lan, forcing Shuangren to face a top-tier foe. Even so, Shuangren taunts everyone, trusting immortality to make him fearless. The White Serpent Sword Master strikes directly, refusing to let chaos drag on. The White Serpent manifests and spews purple poison, mist that bewilders and strips consciousness. Even self-inflicted pain can't save. Shuangren has bound tight, immortality useless. The White Serpent recognizes the pink light pillar as the Sage Stone and grows more determined to seize it. The Sage Stone loses patience, blasting light into Shuangren's eyes to harvest energy itself. Re-empowered, Shuangren counterattacks, arrogantly declaring hell kill the White Serpent. He slashes apart the White Serpent avatar, making the tide seem to favor the assassin. Bai Shijianju stays calm, deciding to drop a ultimate lesson in true peak power. He throws his sword to unleash the White Serpent Tower, expanding the battlefield beyond control. Sword light turns into countless white serpents raining down, turning the area into a chaotic death zone. A blue whale attack crashes down, erasing a guard who fails to dodge. A teammate's brutal death shocks Du Lan's faction to the core. Yangtze forcibly holds them back, charging now would be pointless suicide. The corpse vanishes, revealing an alchemy formation, proof this is a sage stone breeding ground. Survivors absorb power particles, skyrocketing in strength and fueling more slaughter. Yangtze realizes the more death there is, the more unbalanced things get, exactly what the Sage Stone wants. Baishi analyzes weaker elites are growing fast, dangerously closing the gap to Tier 3. The Sage Stone laughs smugly, now no one has a reason to stop killing each other. Baishi cuts someone down on the spot, using fresh blood to suppress the panicking crowd. He openly shields Du Lan, turning him into the protected core of the melee. Yangtze plays patient, only asking Baishi to kill the blue whale for revenge and initiative. Shuangren incites the crowd to kill the weak first, pushing the breeding ritual to extremes. Pink walls seal shut, cutting off escape. Weaklings become mandatory nourishment. Tarot and Lianhuang Spiny appear, officially joining the human hunt. Baishi raises a protective barrier, directly facing the otherworld lords. Aoyang, disguised as the Sage Stone, watches gleefully as the breeding plan runs perfectly. Baishi suddenly self-detonates sword key, triggering a massive blast to break the siege. Tarot and Spiny dodge fatal hits but are badly wounded. The tide flips. Shuangren ambushes Baishi, laughing arrogantly with his infinite healing confidence. Baishi's arm regenerates. He declares the Sage Stone chose him, crushing Shuangren's hope. Assassin Shuangren screams in panic, refusing to accept Baishi as the chosen one. Baishi coldly kicks Shuangren away, ending the pawn whose value is gone. With the assassin handled, Baishi faces Tarot alone, relying on infinite regeneration. Tarot switches tactics, ordering Du Lan captured as a hostage to control Baishi. Yangxi calmly flips the table. His true identity no longer needs hiding. He transforms into the Kang Mu Flame Dragon, instantly reversing battlefield pressure. Tarot is horrified. This is overlord tier power, far beyond his calculations. Yangxi steamrolls 3 enemies in a row, crushing the lower line with raw dominance. Amid chaos, Yangxi bitterly realizes he's still stuck at tier 2 despite noble blood. He proposes teaming up with Baishi, confident they can wipe the remaining foes. Baishi laughs and agrees, seeing terrifying ambition and potential in Du Lan. The Sage Stone watches silently, delighted that Yangxi just killed 3 tier 3 elites. Tarot betrays his ally, sneak attacking Spiny to devour his power, exposing his cruelty. The corpse explodes into energy, rapidly boosting Tarot's strength. Enraged by Tarot's methods, Baishi decides he must be dealt with first. Shamelessly, Tarot suggests a 3-way alliance: kill the weak first, farm power later. Baishi immediately warns Yangxi, declaring Tarot the top kill priority. A terrifying pressure descends. Baishi senses a tier 4 powerhouse has arrived. Guangxi Shengju descends, tier 4 aura suffocating the entire field. Guangxi confirms Demeng didn't lie, the Sage Stone truly exists on this plane. To save his daughter, Guangxi is ready to destroy worlds to seize the Sage Stone. Guangxi casually pierces the barrier, displaying absolute tier 4 dominance. Yangxi witnesses tier 4 power firsthand, realizing everyone before was utterly helpless. The Sage Stone forces an alliance, threatening to revoke power unless Guangxi is killed. Yangxi chooses to gamble his life, standing beside Baishi to challenge tier 4 limits. Guangxi flicks a finger, firing a light orb into the white serpent's mouth, turning a counterattack into a lethal trap. He coldly utters Annihilate, flaunting the absolute gap of a tier 4 powerhouse. The white serpent dissolves into particles, and Baishi Jianju tastes real death risk for the first time. Arm severed, Baishi force regenerates, enraged and pushed to the life or death brink. Guangxi casually cripples Lord Tarot, slapping the whole battlefield into silence. Yangxi dodges desperately. A light orb graze costs his tail. Direct hits are instant death. The Sage Stone judges quietly. Only tier 4 Dao collisions can shake the seal. Baishi Jianju half transforms into a serpent, burning his life to force a breakthrough state. The Sage Stone senses the anomaly, guessing Baishi stands at the tier 4 threshold. Energy erupts within Baishi. Dao insight surges, impossible to stop. Light becomes countless giant serpents circling. Breakthrough ritual formed. Guangxi feels uneasy for the first time, realizing he forced his foe past limits. Yangxi watches Dao fluctuations, vaguely touching his own Dao concept. Guangxi fires full-power light arrows, racing to seize the Sage Stone. The Sage Stone raises layered pink barriers, deliberately prolonging Dao clashes to break the seal. Light arrows pierce the last barrier, proving the stone still falls short of true tier 4. In extreme agony, Baishi Jianju suddenly sees his Dao. Holy light explodes. Baishi Jianju officially breaks through to tier 4. Realm stabilized, Baishi coldly settles accounts, ready to repay all pain. He devours Lord Tarot whole, erasing the opportunist the moment he ascends. Baishi reassures Yangxi, promising to share the Sage Stone after beating Guangxi. 2 new tier 4 powerhouses arrive: Shenlan and Ayangguan, shattering the balance. Guangxi offers Spirit Stones for the Sage Stone, exposing urgency and anxiety. Ayangguan bluntly declares the Sage Stone belongs to Yilan Star humanity. Provoked, Ayang sneak attacks, blasting away half of Baishi Jianju's upper body. Turning his back carelessly, Baishi is instantly impaled. One small mistake, fatal on the spot. Commander Shenlan strikes from behind. A decisive blow drops him, chaos spiraling out of control. Knowing has done, Baishi spends his last breath warning Yangxi to run, staying his pointless death. Watching his senior fall, Yangxi swallows hatred, swearing to kill Shenlan one day. Amid chaos, the seal on Yangxi's forehead glows. The Dai Meng letter is triggered. The Sage Stone breaks free, laughing madly at newfound freedom and greater calamity. 3 factions instantly clash. Whoever holds the stone controls life and death. The Talent Verdict organization appears abruptly, forcing all to face a new variable. Yangxi's avatar manifests, using the letter to summon and force the stone back. The stone struggles but is bound tight, every scheme instantly crushed. Yangxi's teammates descend to guard, knowing one slip means losing the stone. Aoyang proposes profit-sharing cooperation against Talent Verdict. Head in conflict is suicide. Yangxi flatly refuses. The Sage Stone is vital to the organization, non-negotiable. He states the goal clearly: use the stone to revive Long Feng Shen, no retreat left. Guangxi threatens total annihilation to save his daughter. War is acceptable. Eyes meet. Guangxi and Shenlan tacitly agree. Talks over violence decides. Guangxi strikes first, full force, aiming to one-shot Yangxi. The attack fails. Yangxi displays the power gap, making threats look ridiculous. He teleports out safely, leaving a challenge and turning the scramble into shared humiliation. The Avatar returns to base, confirming the Sage Stone is sealed and the Void Cube mission complete. After countless sacrifices, Yangxi finally holds the stone, knowing the price must count. Guangxi refuses to give up the stone as his only hope to save his daughter. Shen Lan glances back, seeing through identities, forcing Yang Shi to hold his breath. He mocks, telling them to clean up the senior's corpse, a reminder of the brutal price of power. Yang Shi interrogates the Sage Stone, tightening restraints until it submits and reveals the truth. The Sage Stone explains its nature, absorbing energy, refining it into origin power to grant wishes. He tempts Yang Shi, claiming he gave Dai Meng heaven-defying talent and promises unearthed origin power if freed. Yang Shi pretends to agree, insisting on a wish first, knowing this traps the Sage Stone passively. He deliberately makes an absurd wish to be the strongest across countless planes, testing its limits. Seeing the Sage Stone helpless, he swaps to even more unrealistic wishes, steadily grinding its psyche. Yang Shi flips the table, threatening to crush it for any mistake, forcing serious cooperation. He drags the Sage Stone before Fei Fei, ordering Shen Lan's roots erased and her restored to normal. The Sage Stone reluctantly accepts, aware it has no right to refuse now. Red light engulfs Fei Fei, the transformation begins and she panics, calling for her brother. Energy lifts Fei Fei into the air. Yang Shi stays calm outside, but is max stressed inside. The ritual ends, Fei Fei returns human but faint, sending Yang Shi rushing over. The Sage Stone reassures him she's just exhausted from removing Shen Lan's roots. Seeing his sister safe, Yang Shi knows humanity's peace still demands oceans of blood. The Sage Stone demands release, claiming a third of its origin power was spent. It suddenly senses something wrong, realizing Yang Shi never meant to keep his word. Yang Shi grabs the stone's true body, forcing it to grant him innate ability, enlightenment. He laughs triumphantly, his guess was right. The stone can't resist a wisher's will. The stone's spirit is torn apart, screaming curses at Yang Shi for being as greedy as Dai Meng. In the energy space, Yang Shi orders their laws broken down and fused, seizing power by force. Unsatisfied, he drains everything, gambling his life for total absorption. The Sage Stone turns transparent and still clear signs of total depletion. Energy fades, Yang Shi collapses unconscious, the room sinking into silence. Awakening, he reminds himself is no longer ordinary, has talent verdict's leader, a Tier 4 powerhouse. He teases Fei Fei, noting the relic that saved her drove Tier 4 elites insane with greed. The dying Sage Stone calls out, hinting at a final massive secret. Alone now, Yang Shi forces it to speak, knowing the story isn't over. The stone curses angrily, its origin power is gone, leaving only shattered consciousness. Yang Shi threatens it outright, forcing the remnant to merge into his cloud apex space to survive. The stone's body shatters midair, officially erased from history. Dust scatters on the wind, a miracle once fought over by countless elites is gone. Yang Shi promises future freedom, keeping the stone's mind for long-term plans. He offers rebirth as Azure Dragon, White Tiger, Black Tortoise, or Kulin. As Talent Verdict's leader, Yang Shi assures this is no joke, forcing belief. After thinking it through, the Sage Stone abandons grudges and chooses Black Tortoise of the North. Yang Shi formally acknowledges it, a new pillar of his space is born. Black Tortoise leaves joyfully with a full body, opening a brand new destiny. Seeing it off, Yang Shi exhales, finally free to focus on the real plan. From Bai Shijianzhu's corpse, he obtains a Tier 4 ability seed with absurd structure. The seed splits into Dao laws, showing Tier 4 foundations are on another level. Absorbing the Dao chain causes brutal pain. This is forcibly swallowing Senentun A experience. The chain shatters into law fragments, revealing a smarter path than brute absorption. Yang Shi decides to raise the identity Haiju to Tier 4, no more flashy posturing. The Void Dao domain activates new power, flashes like lightning beyond expectations. He realizes he can remodel the Void domain into personal territory. Inside, space shreds life, explaining why no beings survive there. A floating base is built, absolute safety only he can endure. Yang Shi realizes he can imprison elites in the Void domain, turning it into a lethal trump card. In chaotic seas, Buning exhausts herself fighting an rank aberrant beast. Dragged underwater, she gives up, accepting death at hand. A void vortex opens, Yang Shi arrives to rescue, officially testing the new kill move. Hearing Yang Shi, Buning turns in joy, she knows she escaped death by a hair. Yang Shi snaps his fingers, opening a void vortex that slices off the aberrant beast's tongue, breaking its deadliest move. Losing support and falling into the sea, Buning panics and cries for help, completely out of stamina. Yang Shi rescues her in time. Buning blushes in gratitude, knowing she just escaped death. He urges her to leave immediately, her Tianwei star identity can't be exposed to the four seas. Buning departs reluctantly, leaving Yang Shi alone with the still ferocious beast. Watching closely, Yang Shi senses the beast's abnormal state, as if externally controlled. He uses the Void Domain Vortex to swallow its poison, turning its attack advantage into nothing. Seeing basic skills aren't enough for testing, Yang Shi decides to end it with the Void Domain. The beast charges and is sucked straight into the Void Domain, walking into a death space with no exit. Unable to endure life-shredding void pressure, the Arank beast dies quickly. Yang Shi calmly concludes it took just 3 minutes for the Void Domain to kill an Arank beast. He recalls his promise to Xuan Wu and starts preparing a new body. That night, Ye Fan greets Yang Shi proactively, showing respect to the leader. Yang Shi bluntly asks to meet Ye Fan's girlfriend, instantly making him tense with misunderstanding. He quickly explains only ability factors for research, zero harm involved. Ye Fan agrees, trusting talent verdict won't hurt the one he loves. Yang Shi formally introduces himself, making Huang Jiao realize this man is anything but ordinary. He says Huang Jiao deserves to know Ye Fan's secret, opening the hidden truth. The trio enters the Void Domain, where Huang Jiao first glimpses the world behind talent verdict. A misunderstanding erupts. Huang Jiao thinks Ye Fan hid a shady relationship, derailing the mood. Yang Shi cuts it short. Ye Fan is a talent verdict member, ending all speculation. Ye Fan admits it and apologizes, knowing the secrecy pressured her. Huang Jiao isn't angry but thrilled. She's actually a hardcore talent verdict fan. Yang Shi states his goal: borrow Huang Jiao's ability factor, paying with an shrank upgrade drug. After thinking, Huang Jiao firmly refuses to give up her ability, surprising Yang Shi. She says she wants no reward, only to join talent verdict and work alongside Ye Fan. The couple go public. Yang Shi nods approval, a win-win ending. Seeing them off, Yang Shi returns to business, studying the newly obtained shaping ability. He confirms Huang Jiao's ability relies on structural understanding. The more complex, the harder to create. After many failures, Yang Shi realizes the ability must be upgraded to show real power. He pours in energy to create large objects, noting it works like a 3D printer made of energy. Energy condenses into a complete male body, far beyond initial expectations. Yang Shi is satisfied the body is strong and perfect for Xuan Wu's rebirth. He prepares to engrave a mental seal, summoning Xuan Wu's spirit per the pact. Xuan Wu volunteers to test it, diving into the new body as Yang Shi watches. Fusion complete. Xuan Wu opens his eyes, officially gaining flesh and blood. Xuan Wu refines his form, becoming a refined, elegant man. Shedding tears for the first time, Xuan Wu truly feels the value of living as a real being. Yang Shi announces Xuan Wu's new ability, water element fused with black flame dragon blood. Before celebrating, Xuan Wu is informed he still has organizational missions. Yang Shi lays out the plan: exploit internal conflicts within Oda-Z to split them from inside. He assigns Xuan Wu the identity Dequi Star to infiltrate the chaotic seas and stir trouble. Xuan Wu excitedly accepts, vowing to wreck the seas as planned. Meanwhile, Guangxi Sheng just slaughters without restraint, pressuring the entire front. Line A22 falls. A burnt beast threaten survival zones, escalating the crisis. Ayang realizes Guangxi's true target is Talent Verdict's BO5 defense line. At Cloud Apex, Yangxi receives reports on rebirth services and swiftly approves the current plan. He confirms rebirth conditions like Xuan Wu's, turning it into a cultivation goal for members. Finally, Yangxi locks in the next key step, activating the Dragon God Revival plan. Watching Chuyu and Wei Chen cultivate, Yangxi sees true talent dictates how fast they rise. Yangxi meets Elder Qian, kicking off a serious talk tied to Talent Verdict's grand plan. Yangxi bluntly asks Elder Qian for logistical support. The scale ahead is way beyond normal. He states the goal outright: Talent Verdict will resurrect the fallen Zodiac Qing Long. Facing doubt, Yangxi insists Qing Long's revival is the core mission, long preordained. He explains this is Yilan Star's on-time consumable treasure, no second chances ever. Elder Qian finally agrees to defy heaven, promising full support to build momentum for the ritual. Breaking news spreads worldwide: Talent Verdict reviving Qing Long shocks the planet. Public opinion explodes with doubt and craving alike, pushing Talent Verdict's fame to the peak. Elsewhere, aberrant beasts raid residential zones, sending crowds into panicked chaos. A waitress using a mutation potion is trapped. Her merfolk form can't outrun death. In despair, she records her last words, wishing revival might also give her another life. Guangxi Shengji appears before the beasts, instantly noticing the name Talent Verdict. With one casual strike, he crushes the beast, flaunting absolute power disparity. Guangxi turns coldly to interrogate, clearly taking Talent Verdict seriously now. Yangxi senses two Tier 4 auras approaching. Major storms are imminent. Yangxi's avatar steps up to greet the visiting powerhouses proactively. Feng Shen and Tong Tian manifest, their rank pressure tightening the air. Yangxi responds calmly, deftly preserving face for all sides in this elite meeting. Onlookers feel awe and anticipation, hoping Qing Long's revival will succeed. Yangxi suspects hidden motives. The two arrived earlier than the ritual timing. Feng Shen proposes teaming up to kill Guangxi when he enters the Four Seas. Tong Tian adds a condition: he wants to borrow the Sage Stone to revive someone else. Yangxi sneers inwardly. These two aren't aligned, and talks are already derailing. During a brief lull, Yangxi knows the storm has arrived before the ritual even begins. Yangxi tactfully refuses lending the Sage Stone. It's the lifeline of Talent Verdict's plan. Tong Tian leaves at once, dropping a warning: elite conflicts are far from settled. At Shenlan's base, all candidates are assembled, launching a brutal human transformation plan. Shenlan announces soul fusion trials fail and be devoured, succeed and become Shenlan humans. He dangles massive power rewards, masking the inhuman sacrifice beneath temptation. 3 souls are forcibly fused, opening a live experiment of unbearable agony. Creed and Ayang Shanglu succeed, power surging, while another is erased outright. Shenlan orders 1 day of prep. Tomorrow they strike Talent Verdict's BO5 defense line. At night, Guangxi carries the waitress, secretly approaching the revival press site. The announcement begins. Talent Verdict unveils the 72 Earth Fiends plan to the world. The first Earth Fiend mask is publicly drawn, igniting explosive excitement. A brand contention tournament opens. Win streaks earn the prestigious Earth Fiend mask. Veterans watch the youth clash, sensing the new era replacing them. Victoria steadies herself onto the arena. No shelter left, strength is her only path. Li Kaiwei defeats an rank foe, earning the mask and joining Talent Verdict by merit. Amid the cheers, Ayang realizes the most dangerous figure has finally appeared. Tong Tian reappears midair, pressuring again, trading help for the Sage Stone. Yangxi calmly refuses, asserting Guangxi is still within Tier 4 control. Guangxi appears and directly challenges Haiju, spiking tension before the crowd. Yangxi steps out to fight, dodging now would shatter Talent Verdict's prestige. 2 Tier 4 powerhouses stand before Guangxi, a high-tier battlefield officially formed. Yangxi mocks him, recalling the Sage Stone failure and stabbing his obsession. Guangxi answers firmly, saving his daughter is worth any price. Tong Tian is forced to protect civilians, summoning the Jushin sword to block shockwaves. Sword shadows form a massive shield, signaling a Tier 4 war about to erupt. Guangxi sneers, calling them ants. His arrogance directly escalates the clash. Guangxi refused to lose, firing a big flashy spell to save face and bully the battlefield. Yangxi countered with a black vortex, bouncing back the golden light and letting Guangxi taste his own medicine. Commander Shenlan jumped in with a blue light killing move, desperate to flip the losing game. He planned to kill Haiju first, snapping the enemy's pillar and tipping everything over. A mysterious slash split Yangxi in two, making it look like he paid dearly for underestimating the foe's life law. Seeing Yangxi fall, Shenlan laughed loudly, convinced another core powerhouse was gone. Guangxi revealed the life thread law, proving that death was no accident. Yangxi instantly grasped the trick, break the slash trajectory, and death is optional. The commander used that death to threaten everyone, forcing them to hand over the Philosopher's Stone. Yangxi hovered alone against two monsters, having already cut off his own retreat. Guangxi proposed a stone for lift deal, confident Yangxi had no other choice. Yangxi calmly produced the Philosopher's Stone, using enemy greed as perfect bait. The commander realized the stone could revive the dead, and his desire to save Qianlong made him waver. Yangxi laughed inside, plan successful. Everyone bought the fake as real. Losing patience, Guangxi charged to grab it, trusting brute force to crush all obstacles. Yangxi raised a metal triangle barrier, deliberately using a low-tier skill to invite contempt. He activated the metal creation divine law, power exploding far beyond expectations onto Guangxi. Shenlan panicked, realizing Yangxi had hidden his strength and misjudgment now meant danger. While suppressing his foe, Yangxi snapped his fingers and summoned a familiar silhouette. Haiju, thought dead, appeared behind them, proving the life slash had been Pudzie. The commander was horrified as his absolute law failed and his faith began to crumble. Yangxi activated the Philosopher's Stone in front of all, turning crisis into a decisive counterstrike. Revival signs flared, Qianlong was returning, and the battlefield flipped completely. Yanglao stood stunned by Yangxi's fake death, making the reversal hit even harder. Guangxi risked everything to escape the triangle, knowing one more beat meant total pulverization. He discovered a void world vortex inside his body, already destroyed from within. Commander Tongtian charged without hesitation, aiming to kill Yangxi and salvage despair. Yangxi struck back cleanly, driving the triangle through him and ending the reckless move. Guangxi painfully rebuilt his body, realizing he was one step behind the plan. Cornered, Guangxi erupted with golden light, choosing self-destruction to drag everyone down. Aiyang realized if he exploded, the entire defense line would be erased. A gigantic phantom rose behind Aiyang as he went all out to suppress the disaster. Aiyang trapped the annihilating energy with a green circle, forcibly stopping the blast. When the energy faded, Aiyang collapsed, knowing he had just saved the front. On another battlefield, Qianlong revived naked in midair, life officially rebooted. Qianlong woke confused, thinking he had died and fallen into hell. Yangxi explained everything, then scolded Qianlong for reckless actions and heavy consequences. Aiyang bound Guangxi tightly, declaring he'd face humanity's judgment. Guangxi realized in despair the Philosopher's Stone was already used, his last hope shattered. Unwilling to accept it, Guangxi flew up again, gathering energy for another self-detonation. Commander Tongtian coldly chose to kill him before the explosion could happen. Amid chaos, Wei Duolia hugged Qi Li Sai in return, believing the family was finally whole. That hope shattered instantly when Khalidi stabbed through Wei Duolia. Cold betrayal. Wei Duolia collapsed in despair, unable to understand why her trusted one struck. The old man was killed right after, the villains acting cleanly with no witnesses left. Guangxi's colossal phantom emerged, pressure surging as a final death battle loomed. Yangxi calmly pointed and declared the end, having seen through the enemy's entire energy structure. His suppression law forced Guangxi's energy to reverse, blocking self-destruction completely. Guangxi screamed in helpless rage while Yangxi replied calmly, claiming he was just a normal guy. Guangxi dropped his arrogance, admitted Yangxi far surpassed him, and left a prophecy of future legends. Guangxi's body scattered into glowing dust, openly admitting total defeat before Yangxi. Yangxi seized the moment to extract the power seed, missing none of the top-tier loot. He confirmed it was a 4th-tier ability seed and decided to keep it for research and self-upgrade. Yangxi smoothly handed the heterobody to Ouyang, trading it for a strategic favor. Ouyang gladly swore brotherhood, their bond officially deepened after the life and death battle. Yangxi turned to the unconscious Wei Duolia, opening a brand new karmic branch. Wei Duolia woke inside the Void Temple, panicking as she called for Yangxi. Yangxi handed her the Judgment Mask, confirming her status as an external member. Wei Duolia broke down, begging to capture Khalidi after witnessing him kill their grandfather. In despair, she offered any price, showing revenge had overridden all limits. Yangxi analyzed calmly, ordering her to stabilize the family while Judgment backed her from behind. They sealed cooperation, and Wei Duolia officially stepped onto the path of a new countess. Base life returned to normal. Fei Fei grew more optimistic, opening her personal growth arc. Yangxi decided to give the law fragment to Fei Fei, forcing her onto the road of power. Fei Fei absorbed the law amid thunder, driven by her hunger to prove she was not inferior. She comprehended the restoration law, healing-based yet hiding terrifying offensive potential. Back in the Void Realm, Yangxi took out Guangxi's spoils to dig deeper into power. He discovered a new law, electromagnetism, unlocking a dangerous combat direction. Abnormal fluctuations emerged, signaling another disaster branch forming. In a dark cave, Gilidi stood among corpses, having crossed the line of humanity. Gilidi coldly faced the commander with no trace of past reverence or obedience. The commander realized Gilida's devouring talent, but it was already too late. Gilidi admitted he had waited long for this moment, his pressure crushing the commander. In the end, the commander was devoured whole, brutally closing the betrayal arc. Kilisi retracted the monster maw and casually picked up the fallen law, utterly relaxed. Khalidi felt new memories flood in, knowing each devour pulled him closer to the abyss. Yangtze landed at the Rendezvous, meeting Ouyang and Tong Tian, calm on the surface yet full of doubts. Ouyang guessed a fourth-tier breakthrough once happened here, instantly tightening the mood. Suspicion turned toward judgment, forcing Yangtze to deny it to avoid open hostility. On the new free continent, top powers began meetings over the coming war upheaval. Baijin Okan warned that judgment had become a top-tier force, capable of shifting fourth-tier balance. Images of Runzeal aberrant beasts appeared, revealing the Alliance's extreme war plan. The Arbiter proposed each faction send one fourth-tier to counter judgment. The Burned-Out Empire publicly refused, causing a major crack in the alliance. Forced to concede, the Arbiter announced a substitute candidate. Kilidi stepped out of the shadows, formally entering the high-level power board. The Arbiter boasted that Kilidi bore an alliance seal, using him to fill the fourth-tier slot. Kilidi sneered inwardly, knowing he could break the seal anytime. Returning to the scene, two monster corpses lay behind, hinting the balance had shifted. Ouyang judged this the perfect moment for humanity's counterattack. Delay would worsen things. Debate erupted since humanity lacked intel on the otherworld in fourth-tier numbers. Yangtze stepped up, offering judgment's help to break the deadlock via intelligence. He chose to send Haiju deep undercover, trading risk for vital information. On Red Spine Island, Yangtze returned as Duran, opening a new action line. He transformed into a roaring giant dragon, announcing the return of the G bloodline. Two other dragons answered, confirming resonance with the ancient lineage. Jay Shirley and Action appeared, acknowledging Duran alive and still heir to the family. Ha Ti rejoiced at Yangtze reaching Tier 3, while Suli stayed visibly annoyed. Yangtze teased Suli about strength, mixing familiarity with a quiet status claim. Duran's mockery instead fueled G Shirley's resolve, proving the G bloodline never backs down. Duran mournfully admitted two had died in the melee, forcing him to shoulder the heir's role. Hiti comforted him, and made him stand tall. He was now the sole pillar of the G family. Inwardly, Yangtze understood plain war is merciless, the weak only get death. Yangtze witnessed slavers chasing a lightning-awakened boy, a familiar tragedy looping again. Realizing inaction meant slavery, Yangtze had no choice but to intervene. A colossal dragon descended, raw pressure crushing the slavers' will to resist. Using Dragonkin authority, Yangtze roared them into kneeling, fear doing the talking. He forced the boy to choose life or death, shoving him onto a Puritan track. Yangtze changed plans, keeping the boy as an errand runner, saving him while chaining his fate. Back as Duran, he formally asked the boy's name to seal master-servant ties. The boy finally yielded, giving his name Xiaoyan, trading freedom for survival. Yangtze quietly held life and death power, using faint hope to bind Xiaoyan's loyalty. Walker mentioned the White Serpent's death, the fallen fourth-tier pressing the present crisis. Walker ordered Duran to compete for Bright City Lord to seize key intelligence. Yangtze secretly rejoiced the goal aligned perfectly, a ticket into the power core. Walker coldly ordered local slaves killed to please Su Li, human lives treated as trivial. Yangtze swallowed his rage, seeing the clan's cruelty and the cost of keeping cover. He brought a sword before Su Li and Xiaoyan, turning it into a power display. Yangtze deliberately pointed the blade at Xiaoyan, forcing Su Li to believe he'd kill. He accepted her demand publicly, pushing her into blood-hungry anticipation. The blade fell, but another servant died, flipping the scene instantly. Yangtze used the death to assert dominance, warning Su Li Xiaoyan belonged to him. He bluntly threatened Su Li, teaching her that power and violence are the real rules. Walker confirmed the incident in shock, realizing Duran was no longer controllable. Walker suspected the change post-battle, ordering the steward to judge if Duran was ruthless enough. Hearing confirmation, Walker laughed in satisfaction. Maturity meant killing on family command. In his room, Yangtze calculated the board watched by powerhouses. He had to climb as Duran. Hamri entered and was instantly subdued. Yangtze needed internal memories. No leaks allowed. Searching memories, Yangtze found the meditation inheritance stone, key to sealed Odyssey power. Mere meditation observation couldn't break through, disappointing him without a soul anchor step. Seeing Walker grant blood crystals, Yangtze realized bloodline was Odyssey's activation key. Digging deeper, he found the Martin stimulation method, able to replace powerhouse blood essence. Yangtze calculated configly alpha-grade Martin nearly guaranteed soul fixation in return. He thrilled at the breakthrough humanity could finally crack Odyssey's knowledge seal. Yangtze immediately thought of a trade meditation law as bait for three major powers. He kept Hamri as a puppet. One tiny slip could collapse everything. As he closed the door, a strange aura hit. Danger was closing in unprepared. At the Clack banquet, family heads laughed, polite smiles masking power undercurrents. Yangtze left early, unease urging him away from crowds. Su Li teased and stalled him on purpose, loving to corner her brother. G Clack's affectionate gaze forced Yangtze into an awkward smile. Fake identity forbade closeness. In the car, siblings argued fiercely, old hatred and death still unresolved. A sudden explosion tore the night apart. The assassins struck at peak negligence. Walker stepped from the smoke to challenge them. A G patriarch never bows. Walker transformed into a massive flame dragon. Only supreme power could block the hit. Hiti transformed too, fighting while ordering retreat as the situation spiraled. Yangtze forced Su Li to run for help. Staying meant becoming lethal baggage. Su Li cried and threatened, softening Yangtze. He had to live to keep promises. Yang Shi transformed into a golden horn flame dragon and charged in retreat meant ruin. Yang Shi blocked the blade just in time to save Walker half a beat slower meant grave injury. He T stepped in to mediate, stressing that Duran saved the day, arguing now would only worsen things. Walker and Heichi analyzed the assassins, realizing the hit a power struggle over Bright City Command. A hidden weapon suddenly struck Yang Shi, forcing Walker to save his son amid the chaos. Yang Shi roared a challenge, drawing assassin focus away from Walker. Fireballs erupted, shocking Walker, and Heichi Duran was breaking through mid-battle. The assassin sensed danger and ordered Duran killed, knowing his survival would wreck the plan. Yang Shi confidently unleashed his trump card, testing the Super Flame Dragon Spear on the spot. Walker and Hati tried to cover Duran's retreat, facing 4 elites. Hedon was suicidal. Yang Shi refused to retreat, charging into the encirclement. Only dominance could force hesitation. Walker and Hate advanced side by side. Father-son and brothers had only battle left. Yang Shi declared himself unbeatable as his surging power stunned friend and foe alike. The assassins panicked at the Super Flame Dragon level. This power could flip everything. Seeing defeat inevitable, the assassins withdrew, living beat finishing the job. The transformation faded and Yang Shi collapsed, the breakthrough draining far more than expected. He confirmed Duran only fainted from overload, calming Walker's panic. Walker proudly acknowledged his son's talent. Duran truly saved the clan today. Walker revealed the City Lord struggle was just the surface, with 4 major forces pulling strings. He admitted the G family relied on the Mercenary Guild, genuinely shocking Yang Shi. Walker claimed an 80% chance becoming City Lord would reopen the path to Odyssey. At the meeting, He opposed Walker going alone. The earlier assassination proved danger lingered. Yang Shi guessed Walker had been given a trump card that confidence meant plans were ready. A thunderous roar changed He's face as he rushed out. Instinct screamed unavoidable disaster. A dragon swarm descended on the City Lord's manor, signaling chaos beyond G control. Jay Walker was found brutally dead, ending all calculations and pushing Yang Shi into deeper peril. Seeing his brother's corpse, Hati exploded in rage. The fallen was the clan's pillar. Blaming himself for not staying close, Hati and Yang Shi considered an extreme-tier killer. Yang Shi recalled Walker's secretly meeting by Jin Okan, suspecting a 4th-tier mastermind. Reading the scene, Yang Shi saw the garrison didn't fit. Suspicion shifted to the steward. The Chifeng troops arrived and denied responsibility, worsening tension as they came first. Hati directly accused the steward, if not Chifeng, only higher powers remained. Okan roared with sonic suppression, using 4th-tier might to silence the G family. Yang Shi had to mediate. Escalation would crush the G clan immediately. Okan claimed to spare them for Walker's sake, but denying blame only raised Yang Shi's guard. Yang Shi shifted suspicion to the Mercenary Guild. Only huge profit justified such risk. To avoid futile conflict, Yang Shi apologized and withdrew the bodies, preserving clan strength. Outsiders mourned and gossiped, while Yang Shi stood in the storm of universal suspicion. At the funeral, Heichi admitted he was now a lone loss, forced a change of clan pillar. With no leader allowed, Heti forced Yang Shi to inherit the patriarch's seat, unready or not. Yang Shi panicked and refused, fearing the role meant sinking deeper into conspiracies. Heti insisted Yang Shi was mature enough and irreplaceable with flame dragon potential. With no retreat left, Yang Shi swore to bear the duty, turning pressure into a lifebound vow. Hati led him into the ancestral hall, opening secrets only the patriarch may know. Hut admitted powerful forces stalked the clan, demanding preparation before disaster struck. Steward Yiwen guided Yang Shi to the inheritance stone, pushing him into the core secrets. The door opened to reveal the stone and powerhouse blood essence, the true G foundation. Yiwen activated the first form, warning that touching it below tier 4 meant doom. On the rainy funeral night, Yang Shi sensed gloom. Trouble clearly wasn't over. Watching the shadows, Yang Shi spotted 4 factions lying in wait, all eyeing one target. The last revealed force was Bernadotte Empire, confirming the G clan was prime prey. Suli almost shouted and exposed them, forcing Yang Shi to cover her mouth as enemies infiltrated the clan. Suli suggested mobilizing the whole clan, but Yang Shi vetoed it. The enemies were all peaked tier 3. Yang Shi forced Suli to warn second uncle to prepare responses, while he stayed to watch it through. Sending Suli away, Yang Shi cut off personal feelings, reminding himself mission and organization came first. At Steward Yiwen's place, the mysterious group openly provoked him, forcing a direct confrontation. Kiaose revealed his aim plainly. He was after the G clan's assets and secrets. He exposed that Walker once traded a key item with Okan, and they came to seize it before activation. Yiwen firmly drove them off. Yielding now meant the clan grounds would be fully violated. Under killing pressure, Yiwen transformed into lightning elemental form to seize initiative. Lightning and flame collided, unleashing massive blasts. The real battle officially began. Yang Shi arrived in time, blocking the siege and stopping them from bullying the steward. He took over the battlefield, forcing Yiwen to retreat and protect the life fusion core. Yang Shi proposed a deal: access to the secret vault in exchange for sparing clan lives. He deliberately stirred profit disputes, pushing the 4 forces into mutual suspicion. Yang Shi led all 4 into the vault, turning himself into the tempo controller of the hunt. Watching them fight over the crystal orb, Yang Shi realized the real target was just a recording device. Failing to find it, one man snapped and grabbed Yang Shi's collar, tension peaking instantly. Yang Shi countered with cold logic, asserting he'd shown enough mercy to force hesitation. He coolly concluded only strength is truth in this world if a clan wants to survive. Yang Shi secretly observed and found all 4 still lurking, each searching on their own. In another room, an iron armor hugged the crystal orb, exposing the true hiding place. A masked man finally found the target, thinking victory was secured. Kiaosai immediately threatened Wei, dragging Okan out as leverage to seize the evidence. In the chaos, the crystal orb slipped from Wei's hands, its fate flipped in a blink. Yangshi calmly picked it up, officially holding the key all forces fought over. Yangshi stomped Wei down and coldly opened the orb to see what drove them mad. The image showed Okan personally stabbing the victim, exposing the true killer behind Walker. The recording ended with Okan leaving with 2 corpses, turning all prior denials into a joke. The white-robed man instantly realized this proved Okan killed the Federation Overseer's son and son-in-law explosive value. Okan appeared outside the window, bluntly declaring he'd silence everyone who saw the truth. Wei despaired at the cruel rule only the dead keep secrets, and they'd all been discarded.